to be here, another Yum. Kept us and got us through the Layla. Isn't that right? Didn't have to do it, but it done it again. And we're here. Isn't that right? I appreciate Mr. Yahuah for all he has done, all he is doing, the opportunity, chance to be able to, I think a lot of, when I wake up in the morning, just being able to have my mind on him, be able to consider to even just kind of conversate with him and go over all the two things he's done. Because, I mean, the things you think lightly of, everybody don't have it. And I say, the old people say, I appreciate the mind he gave me. Again, I never thought nothing about him. When you're young, you're like, I mean, who ain't got a mind? And you don't think about it a lot of time because what we quote unquote call, normal. But a lot of times you don't realize that a lot of folks have gotten up one morning and they had the hardest time trying to get their head on their feet. They had the hardest time. They struggled trying to get that shoe on their head. And if although people tried to explain it to them or try to get them to understand, what they were doing was not correct, for whatever reason they couldn't see it. There's only one person who made that determination. One person who decides that. Okay. But I'm appreciative for what he's done for us. He gives us the opportunity to come together and acknowledge his Shabbat. Isn't that right? His rest. The book declares, and we can see it, symbolically, that they that have entered into his Shabbat have ceased from their own labor. In order for you to keep Shabbat, you got to stop doing whatever it is you do. In order for me to enter his Malkut, I got to stop doing what I do. I don't know how people don't understand it. How do you keep Shabbat? People be at work. I might have been, but I keep Shabbat. People doing stuff. You ain't keeping it. So he said, he that had entered into his Shabbat, his rest, you cease from your own labor. Everything he given us to do for him, it makes sense. How many of y'all understand that? In order for us to be here, what were we doing before we came here? We were working. Whatever we were doing, school or whatever it was, you set all that down to come here. Don't you know in order for us to get in here Malkut, you got to stop doing everything you were doing and do what he wants you to do. Everything he given us, he told us, it all makes sense. It's not complicated. It ain't hard. It ain't something, I'm trying to rationalize. I'm trying to put it together. You really just got to get to a point where you got to put yourself out of the way and start considering what's better for yourself. That's what made me make the decision. What was better for me? What I thought was better for me was my previous life. The things I used to do when I was shacking up and drinking and smoking weed and selling dope and fornicating, everything I could do, stealing and lying and robbing. And it seemed like it was a good thing for me because it was working. I didn't see it hurt myself until you start to look at, you hear the word and it convicts you and make you start to consider. I never forget, I told you, I said, I stopped listening to this rap stuff. Snoop Dogg was a help to me. That murder was the case he gave me. I said, you know what I need to do? I need to stop listening to this rap stuff. I need to listen to some gospel. I would listen to a gospel station. I heard a man crying out, 1 Corinthians 6:9, know ye not, the unrighteous cannot inherit the kingdom of God. Be not deceived, fornicator. That man said somebody shacking up. I was sitting, I was like, I never heard that before. I was riding in my van. I was like, I had a non-emergency transportation, but I was like, I never heard that before. I said, but I'm going to remember it. I said, I'm going to go and I'm going to look it up. I said, that's not in the Bible. I never heard it. And when I looked and I saw it, it changed my life. I said, I never heard that before. I didn't even know it was in the Bible. My former pastor used to tell me, he was my cousin. He said, if somebody doing something, you need to go home before the sun come up. That's what he used to tell him. My mom was a member. That was his teacher. He said, he ain't go along with no shacking up. He said, if anybody doing something, you need to go home before the sun come up. Them folks be like, amen, amen. So, I mean, I thought I was wrong because I was shacking up. I thought the fornicating part was okay. I didn't know it was even in the book you weren't supposed to fornicate. Don't justify what I was doing, but when I heard it, it just threw me. I heard all that stuff, drunk, and I was saying, I was like, it just threw me. I was like, I just never heard it before. I tried to remember when I found that man on the radio, and I was flipping through again. And I think it came on back then from like 11 to 12. I couldn't really remember. I knew it was something. I kept listening. I caught him again. I was listening. I just started listening. When I go to church, I would just watch him. I would just be looking at them people. I was just looking at him. Stuff he would be saying, I would just be watching him. I like, this stuff don't make sense. I never knew this was in the book. A lot of stuff he said, it just totally contradicted. That book totally contradicted it. And it started to change my life, and I realized, you got to make a change. You got to make a change. You got to do something different, son. You got to let that stuff go. I still shacked up now. I did all that for a while. That thing just troubled me enough. You just can't be the same person you used to be. That's how I know that the way that Yahuah has set up, I know it's right. It's just a matter of us just condensing our lives down. You know how you do sometimes it's like you have a bigger place where you stay and you move it to a smaller place. What do? You got to condense it. You got to get rid of some stuff. Say, hey man, you want to buy this? If you don't, I'm gonna throw it in the trash. I got to get rid of it because the new place I got, it can't fit there. Well, you know that's the same way it come with Yahuah. I had to get rid of the girl, I had to get rid of everything. I just had to get rid of it. I had to strip myself totally down and poor. It was scary. That's probably the most scary thing I did. So I like, now I got to try to get a job. I got to try to, looking at the application, those folks saying, put down your last employment. I'm saying, can't put that on that paper. You know what I'm saying? And how long were you at your last job? I was a good while. Is that right? I was a good while. Can we call your former employer? That'll be me. I like, man, it's tight. Man, listen, I spent so much time filling applications because all I kept trying to figure out, they tell you, don't lie. Because you know I'm turning over and come to Jesus, you can't be lying. Man, it took me so long to file an application. All I kept trying to figure out. So I said, well, I did used to work back years ago. I put it, that time of me getting a job and what I put down for a job, I'm folks trying to figure out what you were doing between that. That's a good question. It was a mess. It was a mess. So it wasn't just walk into something and just do something. It was a matter of you really had to look at everything you've done, and now it hurts you when you try to do the right thing. All the stuff people feel like, you know, when you're doing wrong, wrong is good while you're doing it. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. Y'all young people, whatever you're doing wrong, miss him. It's fun while you're doing it. When that man come back and he find a prick you had to come back your way, you're gonna pay for that stuff. And when you realize how much time you lost and how far you behind and how much stuff you got to try, I know, it just took years to be able to fill out an application, because these people want to know, so what you been doing? That's a good question. You know, it's just a lot. You know, you just realize how much you're doing. It's a small thing to some people. But you look at you trying to change your life, there's a lot of things that get in the way to try to hinder you. It was enough to make me just look at religious, man. Religious, go back to what you were doing. You got to do too much explaining. You ain't got the history to put down. Just might as well go back to what you were doing. I had to fight that. And you know what? So when I read, like when we read about the Benim of Yasharal, every time something came up, they want to go back to Mizraim. It made sense. They're like, it's too much. I've never been out here before. I ain't done all this. This looked like more pressure on me than what I had. I might as well go back until you get to where he prescribed for you to go. And you realize everything that happened to you have fallen out rather for your advancement and for other people. You paving the way for somebody. A lot of people don't realize that, you know, I guess anybody could follow a pattern in a sense. More people can follow a pattern versus setting one. A lot of people are not innovative in mind enough to say, I'm a trend setter. Most people follow trend. You know what I'm saying? So what we do is almost trend setting. We had to go back through the book and we find there were other people that were trends. Like Yaakov, who did he have to mimic? Abraham, who did he have to mimic? So a lot of people, they have people to mimic. They were the people that set the precedent. They set the standard. Y'all got it. And a lot of times we looking for, I'm trying to find some other people who I can look at and who I could try. A lot of times you won't find them now. They pretty much just erase so much of our information, so many patterns. People that try to be trendsetter for us and set, well, I'm going to use trend. Sometimes they think trend, they think it clothes, trendy. But I'm talking about setting the precedence for us to say, this is the way, walk in it. Y'all got a lot of times we don't have them. They got rid of them. Or they make them almost look comical. So it's nobody it don't seem like something that's reality. It seems like some figment of your imagination. So the rock that Yahuah has prescribed for this way, I'm appreciative. I'm appreciative for the way. I'm appreciative for the mind that don't have the pressure of preachers trying to pressure me into doing stuff. A lot of these people, these movements and groups, they get pressured in these groups. You get pressured. These preachers, I done dealt with a lot of these preachers. That's why I don't have preacher friends. I don't, because they'll just try to. They got their little way, they'll manipulate you into something. You'll sit and watch one of them, they're doing more than somebody else, and you'll tend to let that kind of get to you, and you'll tend to try to follow that pattern of setting. That don't move me. I appreciate Yahuah for giving that mind. So I did a lot of following when I was younger. and you done made all them bad choices, you realize I done seen the end of a thing. I seen people set some really high goals and marks and bars, and I seen them people lose everything and fall and just, you just realize that ain't the way. You don't want to be like that. You appreciate the little life you have. You appreciate the things you got. There's a lot of preachers doing a whole lot of things like that. But I ask people, how you feel about yourself at the end of the day. I'm telling you, a lot of these people, they can put on some good acts for you, but at the end of the day, you got to be real with yourself. I had to do it when I was a drug dealer. You can tell yourself them lies and buy you a bunch of stuff and look good and ride and look and spend like you're doing it. At the end of the day, how do you feel about you? That's what I look at the end of the day. I feel good about myself. I can sleep with myself. Y'all get me? I ain't want to be by myself, and I'm finna go crazy because now I'm in my mind, and now I'm dealing with myself. That stuff don't move me. I know where I'm at. Y'all got it? I said like Shaul, he said, I'm not ashamed for I know in whom I have a mind, and I'm persuaded he able to keep that which I committed against that union. So that makes the difference. What I'd like for y'all to learn and to do is to learn how to formulate your relationship with your Creator, and then you learn how to maintain that relationship. It's for the betterment. Listen, the best piece I got in my life is being able to know me. Being comfortable being me. I don't have to be nobody else. I can be me. Y'all got it? Now, as a kid, I had to put a towel in the back of my shirt, and that way so I could fly. And lay on my back. I did. I hang kind of off. I do like this so I could swing because I wanted their life. Now I realize I don't mind being me. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what I work to get to and accomplish to get a relationship with him. I'm telling you, man, these people, the way they teach it, they make it just they make it so complicated. They make it so hard. I don't blame people for giving up and quitting. Really, you can't. We did. We blame people. Oh, they just don't want to live right. That's not the average person. That's really not the average person mindset. We've been told a sack of crap. That's not the average person mindset. A lot of people mindset, they just see the hustle. And somebody like, man, I ain't come here to get hustled. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be played. I don't want to be manipulated. A lot of people come, they hurt. They hurt. And they're looking for solace in it and say, okay, maybe let me try religion. Let me try to get it. But that hustler going to play him. He going to get him, and he going to get that light, then he going to come out in scandal. Him and them little boys, him and them little girls, him and the whole usher board, or him in the whole choir, or whatever it might be, or his homosexual way, or him stealing money and smuggling drugs. I remember the church, that was a big one years ago. But now you got all these new non-denomination, and these folk one big back there in Black. What was the name of the church? Reverend Black over in Beulah. Beulah, he took that church and blew it up, and it grew. I remember years ago, I met one of the deacons over there years ago, and he told me that he was at the car wash. He was talking. He was like, he said he was at church. They had found some cocaine in them. That was years ago, yeah. They found cocaine in the church. You know, one of the dudes was older, man. He just to me was talking. Of course, I was a drug dealer. I was like, I'd like to have been at his service. Because I just like to have been at service. That day, you know what I'm saying? If it could have been, I could have been there early that morning. I could have helped him. So he said they found the dope. And the old man, he said he went to the pastor. They told him, they said, listen, they found cocaine in the church. And he said, went to him and told him they found the cocaine. He said, they need to call the police. He told him, wait, let's just wait after, go ahead and do service. And we'll call them, get them at again. He said, when service over with, that cocaine was gone. Yeah. That man stayed right. I mean, the funny thing you got to look at, though, if hypothetically me and Cam found some dope and we came to the pastor and told him we found that cocaine, he tell me to wait after service. Let's just go ahead because we got service coming. We want to bring the police. It'll seem logical. So, okay, let's go ahead and get the service. We got the dope. We're going to call him. Then the dope come up missing. Who I got to count this to? Where do we leave that dope, the after service at? But see, a lot of times these people look at these preachers, they'll be thinking a lot of them, they ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't thought nothing about him. He was a big name at one time, but now you got these younger preachers. He was a really big name years ago. But that stuff, a lot of these folks move on. People forget about it. I don't forget about it. See, I've seen a lot of detriment with these folks and deacons. I remember selling cocaine or deacon. Because you're a kid, you look at it, you kind of look, you be like, that's a really solid guy. I remember one time I was selling dope, and this deacon, I don't remember his name, he was sitting down, man. I was sitting there looking at that man. I was like watching that man smoking the dope. I was just watching. I was like, that man a deacon at the church. And he didn't remember me because I was a kid then, and I'm slinging dope. I'm saying, I'm just watching it. I got that God to myself. And I told him, I said, you a deacon. He was like, yeah. I was like, ain't smoking dope. I'm like, it threw me. I'm like, I'm selling it to him because I got to get that money, but it just threw me. I'm like, you're a deacon. You smoking dope. I always put the deacon and preacher like, man, you smoking cocaine. Man, every folk, that's just their life. I just look there, and they go right into the church, and they just play the life of like there's nothing going on. So I seen so much stuff to where I looked at. One thing I didn't ever want to be was a hypocrite. I appreciate that deacon smoking that dope. I appreciate that dope they found in their church. I appreciate it because them folk, what they'll think they got away is somebody know about you. Y'all hear me now? Had I been at that church there earlier, I could have been the police. But, I was on the other side. But I just look at, for me, that kind of helped me with looking at, I want to be real with myself. I didn't want to tell myself no lies. I don't want to live no life. That's something I didn't want to do it. That's something I wasn't going to do it. I remember a friend of mine took me to church. I was probably 18, and I went and I heard the man, and all I heard was whoa, 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 whoa. Hear me what I thought? I said that it wasn't for me. It was for you. You know what I'm saying? I was happy for him. I went with him. That's what he heard. He heard it, and that's where he was at. In the store. I ain't trying to talk him out of it. You sure? That's where you at. I didn't hear what you heard. You know what I'm saying? So I kept moving. I came back years later. He done fell away on I don't know how many times. I'm still standing. So it's all about it. What you want to do. He had his eyes on a girl. I wasn't looking for that. That's not what I was trying to do at the time. You got to make sure, like I tell people, don't let people force you into something. Sit down and investigate for yourself. This is your soul. You can't afford to be wrong. You can't afford to just make a decision off somebody else. I try my best now with us, and I thought I did in time previous, to try to let's look at things and let's see what is he saying. What are the meaning to these words so we really comprehend it, because you can't do something you don't know, and it's never been done. There's never been a time that a person just been living right and somebody say, man, you know this, you've been living right. Man, stop it. No, yeah, stop it because it don't make sense. You got to be taught. People have some I was just taught maybe not to lie, or I never did. So people like, I never did steal, I didn't steal, or whatever like that. But there's some other things you've done. There's a lot of people have what they boast of some. How many of y'all never smoked crack? But these same people have come up in the fornication. And we know they'll make their boast on, I ain't never smoked crack. And a lot of times I did that. It was stuff I never, man, I ain't smoke. I said, man, I don't smoke that. That's stupid. I don't smoke no weed. Man, I drink. Only thing I smoke is barbecue ribs, all that. And I kept watching my cousin. I said, man, y'all smoking that junk. Man, where that junk make y'all feel? They're like, hey, man, try. I'm like, what? I smoked that thing. It felt like my feet weren't touching the ground. Man, I was so scared because I had never been high. I said, oh, goodness. I said, I stopped this stuff right here. Man, no. I went back. I said, let me get some more of that stuff. The first one was free. I had to pay the next time. That's how they reel you in. They let me try the free one. After that, they said, got to put in some money. After that, I was hooked. Isn't that right? Let's go in on something. But you just look at how you get pulled out with people. And I think one of the things that really kind of is more convincing as well is when you start watching people around you go to jail, die, or lose everything, you just start considering, how long for this be you? It's just like if you play musical chairs. You can start off with 10 people, 9 chairs, and you can get a chair, but eventually going to get down, somebody ain't going to get a chair. And it's going to probably be you. You got what I'm saying? It just keep going. And that's how I started looking at my life. When everybody around you dying, everybody around you going to prison for lengthy times, everybody around you going broke, whatever it is, you just start looking at stuff, you just start realizing, man, it's just a matter of time for this you. How long you gonna keep staying out here? How long you gonna be able to hang on and keep telling yourself them lies? Because part of getting high, getting drunk is the escape. People that say they don't, it's escaping. You try to escape reality, especially when you're selling drugs. Most drug dealers are gonna get high. You're gonna wind up smoking and drinking because you gotta get escape. Because your life, it's numbered. It's just a matter of time before they get you. It's a matter of time. You can be smart, you can be clever, but the people you got with you. I start Xing people out of my life, just getting rid of people. I had a lot of guys just say, man, listen, I just start Xing people out, just start kind of moving away. You're trying to look like what you can do to try to stay safe and stay out there the longer you can, but the fingers still keep getting pointed to you. I remember one time I had a hotel room, I had some pictures on the mirror. I had left, and I came back in, my room was flipped over. I came in, I was finna call housekeeping, I said, man, what kind of housekeeping they did in here? And I had some pictures on the one. I looked up, I walked up to my mirror, I looked. Listen, they had took a thing and drew on my mirror and drew an arrow straight there and pointed and told me I was next. I said, too close for comfort. So y'all know what I did. I kept selling dope. I said, you just keep moving. You just got to be safer. You just got to be more careful till you just keep condensing you down and realize ain't no safe way out of this, son. It's going two ways. You're going to spend the rest of your life in prison or you're going to die. This is the only way. So you know what you do? You stay higher. You keep trying to get your mind off of stuff. I have a time I said, I get through doing what I'm doing for today, I say I'm done. I ain't doing nothing else today. And I feel everything I start doing, I just try to give myself a time limit for the day of what I'm going to do. I say I'm done. At the rest of the day, I'm just going to smoke and drink. Just try to get through the day. I start looking at just one day, just try to get through it. That's all. You just get your mind stuck on, this is your escape. Get through, get high, and just go ahead, just get this stuff done, just get through with it for the day. Just done with everybody. I don't want to deal with nobody else today. I'm done. I ain't doing nothing else today. I'm done. I'm done. And you feel like if you got through the day, you was good. But you don't realize you don't get up the next day and do the same thing. How long you gonna keep doing this? See, for a lot of y'all, what's got to happen, you got to get trapped. All your logic got to get broken down. That's why I want to leave. Like, all y'all can get up, y'all can leave. I'm one of the only people, well, for me, I'm the only person that can't go nowhere. I ain't got nowhere to go. Once you get through, like, you can use a lot of logic to justify everything you do. When that man take all your logic and break it down and show you it don't make sense. It's not and you the one saying it. It ain't him telling you. You realize it's not making sense. It's just a matter of time. You're not going to get away. That's why I'm here. That's been over 27 years ago. Over 27, 20, almost 28 years ago. I ain't going nowhere. They ain't got nothing new out here to show me. Ain't no new hustle. It ain't a smart, hey man, see when you were doing it when you talking to the wrong person. That's why I told you I met with people, I said, listen, when they tell me what they do, I told them, listen. I said, they ain't my hustle. I said, because I can see the end of what they're doing. I said, it's not my hustle. And I clearly see you're an idiot. You couldn't possibly be thinking about what you're saying. But they ain't my hustle. It might tell them, it might work for you. I'll tell y'all sometimes, I tell you something. I said, well, try it. It might work for you. Because I can see the end of it for me, and I say, I wouldn't do it. I know you know what they're saying? Preacher janky. Every time preacher, if preacher say janky, preacher not janky, preacher that told you, and it gonna come to pass because I know it right. A lot of times people look at it, it worked, I got away with it. And you'll try it again, and you'll get yourself jammed up eventually. You gotta be smart when y'all like him. I always remember one thing you keep centered, your salvation. That's the important thing. Everything you do, how did this impede on my salvation? How is this gonna hurt me with him in my relationship when I go to talk to this man? See, when you start to look at things that way, you got a different kind of outlook on stuff you deal with in people. That's just, man, people I don't deal with. I just don't waste time with them. That's it. One of my business partners, he told me one time, he said, man, you don't like nobody. I said, I just don't want to deal with it. I talk to some people, I tell them, I was going to tell that time. I tell folks, I tell them I don't like them. I tell them flat. I said, I don't like you. I don't like you. I don't want to deal. I said, I don't want to talk to someone saying, I don't like them. This is, whatever reason I took the approach on, that's where I'm at. I just keep it moving, and I just keep going. You know what I'm saying? He be telling lies. I really don't care. I told you before, I don't like them. I just don't like them. If I don't like it, I don't want to deal with you. I just keep moving. I'd rather listen. They might say, you missed knowing a good person. I'd rather take my chance and go how I work. They're like a predator. They can't afford to make no mistakes. You can afford to make the mistake if you're a prey. You shouldn't. A predator look at you can lose everything. I can't afford to fool with them. I'm a predator. So you make a move, you got to when a predator go in and make an attack, they put everything on the line. So a lot of stuff they look at, I don't even fool with. Sometimes they look at something, they look at this. They're going while they look, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth putting everything on the line. They'll tell Jared, like, sometimes they'll look, they'll just walk, wonder why. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. I'm not where I want to put everything on the line fooling with you. Keep moving. And sometimes they'll go out to something, you'll say, why would they go out there? They're like, because you know what? This is my last chance opportunity. I got to make it work. So I'm going to put everything on the line for it. You know what I mean? People sitting in prison, messed up, lost marriages, lost everything because they put everything behind something really wasn't even worth it. Where? Where? Just like a giraffe. Go and run up there. One kick will kill you. Let me tell you something. When you find Ari, what they call the lion. When you find the matar, that pride, when they make an attack on something like that, it's because they got to look at this. This our best opportunity chance to be able to feed everybody. This is our best opportunity. It's a lot of risk, but the reward will feed everybody. So it's worth putting our life on the line for it. A lot of stuff people put their life on the line for, it ain't worth it. It better just let it keep it. Look at it like, all right, look at it. Be looking like this. Turn around. But you can look at it like the face. It's just, man, it ain't even worth it. Yeah, because he already, it don't mean he'll try everything. And that's the same way you gotta be. You gotta be smart like that and gotta consider everything ain't worth it. Y'all got it? You gotta be real meticulous about decisions and stuff you do, because it can put you on a bad situation. Just like certain kills they go after can kill them. It's certain thing you go after, it can kill you with Yahuah. Make sense? All right, y'all saw the videos I sent y'all? I saw a poem about the all them folk falling out. That was comical. I don't know where they record that stuff from. I don't know how you just happen to have people on camera as soon as they take it. Did y'all see it? It was kind of clear. Y'all can see them. They were doing, one was cooking, and jokes just fell out. Them people falling out from the vaccine. Did y'all see? How many of y'all looked at it? Y'all didn't see it? I was trying to figure out what it was at first. I was looking. You saw some people on the street. They were going. They just falling out. They saying from the vaccine. I don't put in that past these people. I ain't taking it. Now, I know it's going to be something going to come out the wire. They're going to try to push people to try to, eventually, Yahuah told her before, they ain't going to let you buy or sell. You want to receive it marked. These people got something for you. And we know all these world leaders, they all play with it. Y'all see Russia got that new nuclear bomb they got? Called the Satan II. What make you name a bomb Satan II? Where your Satan 1 at? That ain't your first one, huh? If it ain't Satan 2, that ain't your first one. You don't have a Satan 2 without a Satan 1. Y'all got it? So just watch all these people dabble and play. Y'all just don't know it. These people, let me tell y'all something. These people play with enticing ruachs. A lot of these people will think because they wear a suit and tie. Listen, man, these folks do have a religion. The only way to conquer us was to get us to buy into the semantics of the foolishness of Christianity. This is the most easy religion. Listen, Christians get defeated all the time. That's how you became a Christian. Christians don't be victorious at nothing. Christians always, people get defeated. Go look in the island. All of them been defeated, and they Christians. Christians never win. Don't believe these people. This is their foolishness they give you. That's their stamp that they put on you, let you know, I already whooped you. I already beat you. Why y'all think the Islamic people fighting them so hard and willing to blow themselves up to fight them? I don't know what y'all thinking. They fighting Christianity. They went to Iraq. Their whole end is to give you Christian television, Christian preachers, and give you Christian lifestyle. Why they women uncover y'all faces, show them pretty faces? Cut them dresses and bring. It's too hot to be walking around. You need miniskirt. And these men need to try to whatever how you know you're real a man? How you know God is a man? He could be a woman. He could be a woman. That in itself tell me you're a retard. He could be a woman. Why are you saying he if he could be a woman? If the probability of him being a woman, we shouldn't have he in the conversation. Other than asking you, why do you think he's a he? It's because they play on you. They gave it to you. They made it up. Why you think they won't change it? Hello? Y'all don't like to think about stuff like that? Your oppressor give you all your fears. They give you all your joy. They give you all your ambition. Your oppressor gives it to you. Your oppressor give you your sickness, and your oppressor give you your healing. You think I'm going to let somebody who make me sick also come and give me my cure? No, that makes no sense. Some of this stuff we're doing, that's why we got to get back to the premise he set up. Think about it. If you feeling down, how many of y'all felt down before? Give me what you do to feel better, to get yourself out of that slump. Can somebody tell me what you do? Zamara. Okay, Zamara. Work out. Yep. Eat something sweet. Do what? Just accept it. Some of us go to places that make us feel better. A lot of what we go to and what we do is his stuff. A lot of our depression or oppression comes from him. So you see how they kind of psycho put you into a lot of these places? You seen more people now going to therapy than you ever seen in your life. How many of y'all remember growing up, your friend that was in therapy? How many of y'all remember you was in school, they suggested you to go to a therapist? Okay, one person, I'm gonna give you one more. So, but you younger than me, 38, 39, 40, 41. See, so you said friends are suggested to for anger? Because I can't see you being angry. I'm glad it worked then. Goodness. Does C know you get angry like that? Yeah, but you see what I'm saying? A lot of the stuff, and then sometimes people don't look at what they try to, and they'll suggest to us to go and do is not always an issue of going to see a therapist. It's sometimes them trying to conduce the way we thinking. See, white people are afraid of the way we think. They don't want to think about it. You angry, what would you do when you get angry? I'm just saying anybody, not just who. Tear up stuff, violence. What's that? Choke their neck. And guess what they do? That's why it's to their benefit to hire in. These therapists you get are these therapists that come from your culture, that's familiar with your culture, or these people that's familiar with you and how things work and the way you work and how you design or even understand your religious concept. See, it makes sense for them to create them and to educate and to teach their therapist that you'll go to because they're going to condense or they're going to reduce the way you think and try to get you to think another way. You need to think more positive. You need to be more calmer. You need to be more relaxed. You need to be more accepting of things. What condition are you in when you're talking to me about this? What condition am I in when you're telling me this? I'm not the oppressor. I'm the oppressed. I'm not the person that makes people sick. I'm the person that is sick. Y'all got what I'm saying? So when you go to these people, it's always their people. When you go to get a checkup, every one of those challenges they give you as far as where you need to be with pulse, weight, where you need to be with your blood pressure, you know what I'm saying? Where you need to be with sight, all this stuff comes from him. All this comes from him. Y'all got it? It all comes from him. It comes from his chart. He set measurements based off of him. I'll never win with him. Don't you know I'm more high strung? This man right now, you should be so freezing. It's burned up out there. He puts this in your mind. Because he wants you to be like him. He wants you to meet everyone. And guess what happened? I'm not going to be able to make it. And it's going to be a natural resistance. And guess what? You have some other ailments. And now he needs to prescribe me some pills for it. Let me tell you something. I remember my granddaddy went to the doctor. Your dad didn't go to the doctor growing up, did he? When you were growing up, you remember your father going to the doctor? When my granddaddy finally went to the doctor, he was older. My granddaddy found he had diabetes. My granddaddy was in the field working every day. He would get. I remember my granddaddy go out and hunt by himself at night. I remember one time, our little boy, he drug a deer all the way home by. I don't know about y'all. Let me tell you something. A deer is heavy. Listen, it was three of us. We killed one of the bastards about once. That bastard was heavy. Man, we were dragging that bastard. Let me tell you something. Everything was heavy. It was three of us dragging. You know what I'm saying? You think, listen, my granddaddy drugged that thing back through that and drugged that thing up the porch in the house. I mean, he killed it. He cut that thing up right down that kitchen floor. We were looking at a 10-toe. He drugged it. He had them big country, had them big hands. He was just that type of man. He'll go. When he went to the doctor, my granddaddy came out the field. My granddaddy got through hunting. They reduced everything about him and changed it. That's how they break us down to kill us. You know, we don't know we're sick. He go down. He start using stuff. He don't let me do it. He don't let me listen to my heart. He listen to it. Come on, fellas. Let me tell you. You know, I write down Dr. Smith. No, I got to just check it. Come on, for a minute. Just breathe in and out. Oh, stop. So, okay, sit back down. Trying to roll back, trying to forget. That nigga like, what man slide across the room? I was that slide back across the room. You thinking? What? You know they get that chest slide. It's all psycho. It's all psychological. It's all psychological. They right. They gonna let me read them notes. They ever gave y'all them notes? They'll write something up and get it to you. You're not getting that paperwork. That's going in your file. And somebody that you're gonna let get it, it's gonna have to be authorized, signed for they'll send it to them. They gonna get it, and they still ain't gonna give it to you. They tell you just enough. Don't y'all know we go to these people? What you think they're gonna tell us about us? Muhammad Ali said it best when I finally watched that fight with him and the make-believe fight with him and John, Rocky Marciano. He told them better, and they had to get rid of the fight. They asked Muhammad Ali, they showed it to him. He said, who you think they were gonna let win it? He said, who machine is it? They were trying to get Muhammad like, no. He said, it's a white man machine, and me fighting a white man. He said, who you think they gonna let win? Listen, do y'all know they put that thing in archive for over 30 years? They said Muhammad, it called them, they couldn't get him to buy into it. They tried to convince him based off of the science of Rocky Marciano's style of fighting, based off of your style of fight, and put him in him. You couldn't beat Rocky Marciano. He told me, where you get this from? A computer? What makes you think I'm going to fight that same style with Rocky Marciano? The way I fight, just say the way he'd have fought George Foreman, you're going to tell me I'm going to fight that same style? I let George Foreman beat to get himself tired. What makes you think I'm going to fight that same style with Rocky Marciano? That's a shorter fighter. I already know what kind of fight. He's aggressive. So I'm going to change my style on him. I'm going to let him walk right into it, or I might fight him. I'm finna back it a little behind up. You don't know that until you get in here. You know, you can train for a fight. Once you get here, everything can change. You might have to change it, but a computer going to leave it just like it is. That's how they beat you mentally. You know how many folks going around saying, Rocky Marciano, he could beat Muhammad Ali. I'm telling you, I've seen it. The computer, man. Because you know why? Who you think they're going to show you? Rocky Marciano is the greatest white hope white people ever had. He the all-time pull-up of fighters they got. Y'all got what I'm saying? So what you think they're going to tell you, what they're going to show you? It's not just about Rocky Marciano. It's everything they use against you. When they give you tests, those tests will decide whether or not you're promoted, you're kept back, whether you're normal or whether you're abnormal. They're his tests. Who's going to grade? Are they going to let you grade them? They're going to a system, and that computer going to do it. You going to bubble in, that computer going to get it, that computer get through, that computer going to say, you need some special teaching. You need to be in one of them classes. You need to be checked out. I'm telling you, they're going to get you because they program it. It's the whole psyche of the thing before you get into it. And it puts you on a time level. So I'm already stuck with now time's running out on me. Just skip it and keep going, skip it and keep going. That's what we've done with what's happened to us in America. That's why we come right back to, you know what they tell you? When you skip it, come back to it later. Why y'all think we're in the hellhole we in now? We should have said, no, I'm going to deal with this one right here now. Everything you do is programmed by them. Listen, people are taught and take opinion about me a lot of time based off of they don't sit back and look at, what's my condition? America been good to me. America's never been good to me. Anytime people of color made any advancement to anything else, it's been harder and more struggle, and you've done more than any white man could have ever done. The little you do gonna be more than these folks will ever do. Y'all got it. This country is set up for them. It's made for them on the legal system made for it, the police made for it, little white kid. He already locked on little white kid up. He gonna take a little kid home. He gonna take your kid to juvenile. The system is made for them. Education is made for them. It's their system. They start reading their kids in the baby. They start pushing through the program. All they want to. You get black kids that are going to advance and do certain things, but you ain't going to go but so far in their system. And when you do go any further, you know they're going to give you the title of, you're the first one to do that. Your color. Ask them how many first white ones is. Tell them to tell you the name of the first white one done anything. How many? Let's go to the first white president. What that was, last year? It started off with them. White folk don't have nothing they're going to holler about no first white man to do nothing. First white one, they always been doing it. You the only people that's constantly behind. This is your biggest fight. Trying to achieve one status of where he been all his life. And then they got to have, look at the first black one. We have now the first black. They making a fool of you, dummy. You a dummy. They do this all the time. This your first time? You think they really think something about you? You the first nigga to ever do it. As long as you've been here for 400 years, you the first nigga to do this? Not the first man ever. You don't get that. You don't ever get that achievement. Not the first woman ever. You always the first black one. They can't tell you how many of them done had them position. Them folks will be in and out the position. The first black woman to be the press secretary for the White House. Man, that little pissant job. Them white folk get the job, they don't even keep it the whole term. They in and out, somebody else white, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Woman, man, in and out, in and out, in and out. First black woman, just get him. That's how they use her. And she had to be LGBT. You know that right? So they can cover. The sissy folks got to fight for them. See, we get played on so many, and the reason why, I don't know. I got the reason why I talk to y'all about this stuff. I need you to think about things before you start to hear where we're going to go. I don't know where we're going to go. We read, it's how Mr. Yahuah see fit. We'll read something, we're going to get it. Listen, we're going to take off, we're going to go on a trip. Y'all got it? But before we leave, we need to know where we're going from first. Where we at? Where are we at? And I need to know when we do this, I would know how is this going to help me based on where I'm at. Y'all got it? There were people that came before us that sought deliverance. They kept a certain protocol. Y'all got it? Because they stayed minded on leaving the place. When Daniel and them first came, they didn't do like people do now, sell out the people to fit in. They wasn't doing it. No, you know, they eat there. He said, we won't eat it. So if you would, let us eat something different. And they stayed minded. Even though they advanced them up, they still kept their protocol. He's like, I'm not stopping allowing because of their position. Because that's how they'll get you. If I move you up into something, surely you'll let the other stuff dissipate. Surely it won't be as important because you'll look at, you're advancing. You're Elohim advancing you with us. So surely you don't have to keep doing that stuff that the other people do that's not where you at. Why y'all think sooner we get people that advance, we say they sell out? Notice what we always say. Whenever what we say when we see them, they sold out. You sold out. I know they sold out. Don't y'all know why white people give you advancement? Don't y'all know why people will promote you and give you stuff? Let's see how that works. There's a man in the book called Balaam who was clearly told not to go, not to all this on. But then he said he sent more honorable people. And these people, for whatever reason, they promised him a promotion. What did he do? He was going to curses. You see how they get you? See, a lot of times we'll be looking at, oh, I'm getting promoted. Oh, they finna give me another position. Oh, I'm getting this. Folks not giving you nothing without something. No. But I know y'all don't be that clever on a lot of stuff. When I talk, people not that clever on stuff. I done dealt with, I done seen so many folks, I done so, listen, folks will do a whole lot of stuff because they want to know. The more you get, they already know you're going to do. You're going to have to compromise. Balaam did it. Of course, I ain't going to curse you. It ain't got nothing. But now I'm talking about, how much you said? I'm talking about gold. I'm talking about, we finna advance you up. You're going to be over a bunch of people. I'm in with that. Because the Lord is working in your life. Surely, anytime anything going good, who else working but the Lord? Who else responsible for all good things? Ain't that a good thing if you make more money, if you get, how many of y'all that's a bad thing, you make more money, you get promoted? So we all niggas agree, that's a good thing. But you have to be careful about how things come. What's attached to what you give me to do? Man, just walk on, just drop a stack of money on my desk. Praise God. Praise God. Who else could do this but the Lord? Won't he do it? This man ain't gonna want nothing. This man ain't gonna want nothing who just dropped their money on the desk. No, this just for you. That makes sense? I'm like, this happens to me all the time. You know what I'm saying? He said, and this is my base too. This is my, you need me to break something else? Folks will make a fool out of you. People don't just give you nothing for nothing. See, let me tell you how, when I was young, a lot of stuff you don't think about. A lot of stuff you don't think about. And for whatever reason I'm talking about to help some of y'all. I ain't going to be able to help all y'all because a lot of y'all, you're not going to think. People don't just do stuff for you. People just don't let you in their worlds. People, it don't happen. You got to be able to do something. There's nobody who's going to come get you out the street and just say, come on, I'm finna just bring you into a world. No, you're going to do something in this world. Remember Adam? He just brought him in for nothing. He only brought him here to do his work and his will. Okay? He wasn't sitting here and say, I just brought you here, just want to pull you out the dirt and just let you just do stuff the way you want to do it. Whose work was he doing? His own work? When he started trying to do his own thing, he had to go. That's why a lot of folk don't invite me in. That's why a lot of folks, somebody sent me an invitation. I never told you, they sent me an invitation. I was supposed to go to England and preach. But they're not finna take me to England. I'm not finna go to jail in England. Because I know I walk right up to the Queen. How you doing, sir? No, but possibly. But see, I'm not gonna compromise for a lot of stuff. And surely people can't be conscious. So I already know how England works. They're not trapping me like that. You got to come up with someone way smarter than them right now. Y'all got what I'm saying? I'm just not that stupid. But, you know, at the end of the day, people don't just bring you in. People just don't put you in their world. People just don't give you stuff and just promote you and move you for nothing. It's always a cost. It's always an expenditure with things. You always have to consider, what I got to do for this? I'm just telling y'all, nobody just going to do that. It's like them just going around getting out the free Ruach HaKodesh they call the Holy Ghost. You know how you get it? You have to obey who? Then he told you were his friend. I want y'all to meet my friend. So exactly how did that person become your friend? Or you do what they say. That book. See, everybody keep that they're going to change the mold with stuff. You have to be real careful when you do stuff with people. That's what the book tried to do. He that had friends had to first do what? Then he told you there's one that stick closer than the ox. Trying to tell you, the white people, you can't be friends with everybody. I'm a little kid, everybody, that's my friend. That's my friend. That's my friend. You start learning. At the time, of course, these people are not your friends. These people are your friend for what you can do. These people are your friend because of what you can give them. These people typically pick you for advantage, even with jobs. Why you think they interview more than one person? She did it. They took you out the rip. They're trying to look at their best offer. I'm looking at my best candidate. Who's going to be willing to do the most? What y'all think the purpose to tell you is some more people in the running? You said do what? Compete, and you'll say what you'll do over them. If I have some more people that's trying to compete with the job, why should I hire you? Because I do whatever it takes. You can count on me, night or day. So I convince you to put your whole life into something. I tell people a lot of times commitments you got to consider. I got my main commitment is here, okay? So when people offer me to do stuff, I always have to look at that right here. How's that going to affect everything else I do? Then I got to have my hemp time. And we don't want to cross that line. We definitely don't want to make two things we want to cross. Don't with Elohim, with the capital L. And please don't with the hemp. That's enough. That F a little smaller than his, but it's still an F. His F is superior over everybody else's. Y'all, that other F of that hemp is right there. Y'all got it? You got his F, you got my F. Don't mess with it. So you got to look at time. I know a lot of people want things. I don't know why I tell y'all this, but people want to do things and people want to have things. I tell anybody and I tell my kid, I tell y'all, just make sure things don't have you. Because a lot of people think they got stuff, they really don't have it. It got you. When you got to put all your time in behind to get it, you don't have nothing. It's got you. Y'all got it? I don't let things make me get up to do nothing. Because then I understand I don't have it. It's got me. Y'all understand that? No, they don't. Some of them don't understand it. I'm telling you, you think you got something. You can't sleep. You can't get no rest. You got to try to make sure you keep up with it and try to pay to get it. I'm telling you, you don't. Because I got this car. No, you don't. That car got you. I got this house. And you can't get no rest, you got to keep going. It costs you everything you got. I assure you don't have no house. The house got you. See, you went from being a don over it to now you're a bard to it. You're a servant to it. See, that's something I had to learn too. Some stuff, I'm telling you, you're being a bard to it. You won't be able to enjoy it. People think they got, a lot of people don't enjoy what they got. You won't be able to enjoy life. I'm telling y'all some key stuff I wouldn't tell everybody. And it's a difference in enjoying life and you slaving for life. You don't want to slave in life. You want to enjoy life. Take it for what it is and learn certain things you do. You made a decision. You think, man, they lucky. Man, you lucky. Girl, you lucky. Man, mom, you lucky. Everybody lucky right now. No, it's a matter of what people are willing to do for certain things. Listen, $1 million house, a $200,000-$300,000 car, anybody can have it. You just got to be willing to do whatever it takes. Now, I'm not saying everybody got it is doing what it takes. It's a difference when you get things, you can enjoy things at your leisure, at your pleasure, and it don't put you out versus all your expenditure, all your energy, all your extra is going to keep it. So you don't look like, it don't look like you fail. See, now you're subservient to it. It's got a control over you. Hello? How many of y'all understand what I just told you? How many of y'all you never looked at it that way? But does it make sense? That's sometimes you see people, you say, I could do that too. But I choose to as well have a life, and I want to have a peace of mind. I want my life embodied to where I don't have nothing for myself, and all my time, all my energy, all my effort is just to serve something versus serve Yahuah. And a lot of times you don't realize it. You'll mess around, it'll be another Elohim. Hello? All your free time, all your extra time, everything you got to try to keep getting, and then your end is then, well, I don't want to let Elohim down or the Lord down because he gave it to me. A lot of times he gave you, I let you win after it. To show you this will be your hurt. See, that's why when you do stuff, you really got to consider it. A lot of stuff you just really got to consider. Realize, I don't want my life embottled around things. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to live my life. Older people get a better outlook on things sometimes. They look at, when you're young, you can take your strength and time to run out a lot of stuff. When you get older, you get the breakdowns of your life. And you start to go back and look at how you could have done things a whole lot differently. You know, you might not have all the things you have, but you have more of a peace of mind. You have more of a rest. You got more of a calm. And a lot of times, when you ain't got a peace of mind and a calm, I don't care what you got. You broke. You know how many people got money sick? I'm talking about sick. What good is it? Remember, I had that other guy who died. He was in that wheelchair. White guy. He was supposed to be some genius. Who was that? Stephen who? Yeah, I don't know what. Like a hawk done took him down. You'll rather have that money to live like that? Ain't worth it. I ain't got no peace. I ain't got no solace. At the end of the day, that surpasses everything. Y'all got it? So when I'm looking at the word, I ain't looking for, of course, carnal is a part of us. So having carnal things are an essential. They're just not primary over our salvation. But we want to make sure that we're grounded to the salvation part first. We understand that. So then when things are loaned to us, we understand everything I got, I understand he loaned it to me. And when he get ready, he'll look at, now I got somebody else who need it. So it'll transfer from my hand, or your hand is going to go to somebody else's hand. So you learn to be appreciative of the thing he loaned. Your eyes, your hands, your legs, you're bending, you're whatever it is, you're sitting down, you're getting up, you're rolling over, going by yourself, the thing, a shelter over your head. Because everybody homeless wasn't homeless originally. These people used to live in homes, expensive homes, some of them. All these people on the street, like unbeknownst to a lot of us, all these people are not dumb. All these people went through a cycle, and Yahuah looked at, hey, you've gone far as you can go. You've allowed your education, your riches to feel like you were secure. I got somebody else needed. And now it makes logical sense to live on the street, to poop on themselves, to piss behind a building, go through a trash can and eat. But people who known them before, because there been people, we done seen crackhead we knew were up. Y'all didn't know about who up on their game, then you see them crackhead, you homeless, and you trying to figure out, what put them, how they got there? Yahuah let them know, I rule in the Malkuth Elohim, unashamed. I give it to whom I will. I give cars. You see them people at the bus stop, they ain't gonna get a car. Yahuah see fit, this is where you'll be at. Somebody else need a car. They said, all them cars on the lot. He said, I issue them out. I got somebody need that car. I got them scheduled for a head-on car crash. So I save a car, brand new on the lot. I got somebody gonna go down the street and they gonna pull out right quick in that new car and think they gonna get by. And there's a tractor-trailer driver gonna cut it in half. He said, I made that car just for that. Y'all don't realize stuff we got, a lot of stuff. How you know stuff he gave? That house you in, he got that house set for you, so when you get in it, I got it set up, and something wrong with the stove. It flickers. And they're going to kick off a fire in there, it's going to burn the whole family up in it. That's why I sat that house down. There's a lot of folk came by wanted that house too. People were looking at it, and somebody outbidding them and got it. He said, I set it up for them. See, that's why when you look for and you ask for things, it's important to make sure if it's your will. Because a lot of times we ask for stuff and got it, and we never consider if that's your will. Y'all got it? A lot of times, time just starting to come back to make us think. We get real comfortable. We get real to ourselves suggestive and feel like things are for us. A lot of times looking at, where's this going to put me in my relationship? What kind of strain they going to put me with him? I don't know. Maybe that's the wrong message. It ain't for everybody. Y'all got it? It ain't for everybody. It's just for those that really sit back and consider. At the end of the day, most important thing you got and more important thing you got to do for all of us, we got to make sure we right before we get out of here. Y'all got it? So we don't want to get things and things take a hold of us, and then we round up later on realizing and it beat our hurt. Y'all got it? Hate to run this far and this long and then later on realize this thing here gonna hurt me. There was a bad decision and you can get into some stuff you just can't get out of, in too deep. Can't get out of, you don't unravel yourself and put yourself into so many things that, well, I can't get out of this one. That's what you don't want to do. Always be able to give yourself that time or give yourself that out of things to where I'm not so committed to something I can't stop it or I can't give it up. Whether it's a marriage or dating or kids or a house or a car, at the end of the day, we all have to be able to detach. Like what are Autobots? You know how don't they detach? Do they detach? Am I naming the right stuff? They transform. Yeah, let me do that. They probably push them scissors out. They transform. Don't they have something that detach? Something detach. What? They can detach, destruct the content. That's what we have to keep our mind at. Be ready to detach. Whatever it is, be ready to be able to. At any time, you have to be ready if you need to. Just like with the space shuttle. All that money spent to put in order for it to get up there, you know it's got to lose something. Think about it. It's no way that big giant, all that money spent. Look at everything that's attached to it is only used once they get to a certain height, let it go. And you know they got to look at, man, I got a lot of money in there. I can't just let that go. Then you can't go no higher. Y'all understand that? In order for that thing to get to where it's going, it's got to let everything about it go, but it uses it in order to, that's what you got to learn how to do with people and things. Use it to get to where you're going. And then be ready to detach from it. That makes sense to y'all? Why would he let us see a machine he folk build and all the money put in, and they already know from the get-go, I got to let it go. I got to let it go. And why is it's so hard for us to rationalize that? In order to get to where we got to go, it's just things you got to be able to detach from. Okay? All right, we're going to get ready to let sign the Kato Sarah. Kadash Abba, separated Father, Hadu, thanks for all you've done and you rendered to us this opportunity and chance to be here, for keeping us while we slept and we slumbered, for keeping us and most of all for granting us a law, which is a mind, to even zakah and to think on you, which is to mark us to remember. Baraka us, bestow a gift or a benefit upon us, that we won't turn and we won't falter and we won't faint. Baraka us that our amunah, our stability, might be firm in that which you prescribed unto us. Let your debar, which is your word, let it shah, let it rule and marshal, have a control of our nafash, and which is our soul, and of our basar, which is our flesh. Without you, we are nothing. We seek you for your redemption and for your understanding. Baraka us and the baraka that Yahushua, which is your salvation, the Mashiach, which is the anointed one, all that he rendered unto us and for us, and that he moot, and that he died, and that he kum, which is that he resurrected, and that he ahab you, which is had an affection attachment to you. That he ahab those that affectionate attachment of whom you ahabed, which are the Abbas, which are our fathers. Baraka us, which will bestow that gift of benefit upon us, according to the Barifu Shabbat, which is the covenant you vowed to Abraham, Yatsakak, Jacob, the Yahudim, and Yasharal, and to their Tuladaf, which are their generations, even unto us and our Tuladaf, our generations. Recover us from our Kata'im, which are our sins, and our ma'al, which are our transgressions of us, the benin, the children, and the abba, the fathers, before salam too late, everlasting. Baraka us that we might be of the Kodashim, the separated ones, that we might be joint heirs with the Mashiach, the anointed one, that we might be Talmim, complete, unrebukable, unblameable in the Yuma Mashpat, which is judgment. Baraka those that are watching in, that seek you, that ask us to palau for them and ask for them, those that support your Dabarim, your word in every Malkum, which is in every place. Baraka the out of towns and strengthen them and be with them. Be their Nakum, which is their consolation. Be a baraka unto the Kazi family in their situation, their circumstances, which are all in your hand. Let your paw, which is your mouth, speak a debar, which is a word that will heal, that will recover, that will bound up, that will bring back. Lamed us, which is to show and instruct and teach us, and seal us with the Ruach HaKadosh, which is the spirit of separation, unto the Yuma Mashpat, which is the day of judgment. Baraka your Shalakim, the sent ones. Baraka your Shamaim and your Sabut, which are the heights expansion where you dwell in your armies. Jerusalem, the city, the foundation of Shalom. Continue to be with us. And as we prepare to move further, we ask, which we palau, that you search us. See if there be any Rosha Darak, which are any evil ways. Cast it from us and lead us in the Arak everlasting, which is the way of life. Let the debar of our paw, which are the words of our mouth, let the meditation of our laws, which is of our hearts, be acceptable in your own. And as we move further, we palau, in which we ask that you take full control, that you get the tahalim, the praise, the kabud, the glory, and the kabad, the honor, in the shem, which is the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Let us all say, Amen. All righty. So y'all know what we're using. This is the word program. So we're looking at Romans 15:4 for those at home watching or whomever. They don't know, they can see. All right, 15:4. All right, listen. Oh, okay. I'll give me some. Well, if I wait.
Or whatsoever things Nikatah before time,
So whatever was written before,
Nikatah for our lament,
it was only written to teach us, to show us, and to instruct us.
that we, through endurance
That's right. Through endurance, they call him patient, going through without giving way,
and Nakum of the Kitabim,
which is a reward. We look for a reward from it.
might have Tikva,
That's how we might have a connection, or we have an expected wait. Tikva or your call. That's our goal when we come here, to make sure that we get it and get an understanding. Did it help y'all out last night, Layla, with the message last night to teach them? That's our goal. We just want to get down to the root of things so we become better as an adar, and that's going to come along with us having an understanding. Y'all got it? Let's see if there's Aleph, your Ukanon 5:17. They'll call it 1 John. And this is the confidence that we're trying to obtain. Okay? This is 5?
yes, sir.
Oh, okay. We'll go 18. Don't worry about it. We'll go 17. We'll go 18 is what I want. Go ahead.
We know that whosoever is born of Elohim, Katah not,
Y'all hear what it said? We know that whosoever is born of Elohim, Katah not.
but he that is begotten of Elohim keepeth himself, and that Rosha one toucheth him not.
Okay. Let's see what it says. Listen.
And we know that we are of Elohim, and the whole alarm lieth in Rosha.
Okay. Let's see what he told us.
And we know that the Ben of Elohim is come,
and
hath given us an understanding,
that
we may know him that is a mock. And we are in him that is a mock, even in his being Yahushua HaMashiach.
listen.
This is the Amat Elohim and Alam Kai.
Let's see something now. You see what he told us? And we know that the Ben of Elohim has given, hold on, we know that the Ben of Elohim is come and has given us an understanding that we might know him that is Amat. And we know the Ben of Elohim is come, has given us an understanding that we might know him that is Amat. And we are in him that is of Amat, and we may be in his Amat being. Go back to 18. All right, give me one first. Give me 5-1. Let me see what it says. Listen.
Whosoever among that Yahushua is the Mashiach is born of Elohim.
Okay.
And every one that Ahab him that begat, Ahab him also that is begotten of him.
Well, I'm just looking at whosoever among it believeth that Yahushua is the Ben, is the Mashiach, is born of him who begot it. Loveth, oh my God, everyone that loveth him who begot it, loveth him also who is born of him. Hold on a second. Well, I guess I'm looking at the hard part. I think sometimes what we'll look at when we look at, us being born of Elohim, I guess we had to kind of go back and look at things a little different just because of the fact he put the Ahab part in it. And Ahab is an affectionate attachment. An attachment is something that connects to something, which makes sense when he told us that if we Ahab him, we'll keep his Amar, because it's an attachment. That's a part of who he is. If we Ahab him that begotteth, then surely we will Ahab him that's begotten of. Y'all got it? Because the writings is just keeping his commandments, his Amar. Well, he also done gave us Amar that we should Ahab the Ben, just like we Ahab the Abba. So which means we should keep the order that the Ben giveth us, the Son, just like we do of the Abba. It's impossible to be of Elohim if you don't attach yourself unto the Debar. Does that make sense, y'all, or not make sense? Because, the way we've always looked at Ahab, look at love as we call it, it's an affection you can have like a man can cheat on his wife, but it don't mean he don't love her, does it? Guys will tell me all the time, a woman cheating on her husband, they have, oh, baby, but I love you, though. He said, well, you cheating on me, but still, don't mean I love you, though. You everything, you my whole world. I don't want to lose you, but how he got to understand it, you couldn't have it unless that attachment keeps you from. Y'all got what I'm saying? Because it's like Siamese twins. We're familiar with Siamese twins. Can we pull up a picture of Siamese twins, please? Oh, wait a minute, I spell sign. Maybe S. That'd be similar. Yeah. Twin. All right, let's see. Let's see a picture of them. Okay, that's what we go. We see them. Okay, let's see this. These are Siamese twins. How many of my kids, can y'all see that, my young people? How many of y'all didn't know what Siamese twins were? My young people. Okay, Siamese twin. These are people that are born, their bodies attached together. You see these two girls? How they're attached. Only separated at the head. Now, what we're going to do, she's going to go to the store while her sister stay home. Y'all see that? Now, right here, this one is going to go, and the doctor's going to check on this one. She got a doctor appointment, while the other one's going to stay home. What will have to happen in order for This one will go to the store and this one stay home. This one go to the doctor while this one stay home. What would have to happen? Guess what had to happen in order for us to commit kata? You have to separate from him. You have to separate. It's virtually impossible. It is impossible. Y'all said that's an impossible feat. The only way it can happen, you have to detach. Y'all got it. Can we see what a heart means, Bossy? Please. And now there are operations that they've had where they've separated them. And you know what happened when you do that? Who knows what happened? I can't hear. What happened? One of them usually die? I don't know about that one. I mean, it could possibly happen, depending on how the organs go. Who knows what usually happens when they separate? What happened? I would hope not. He said they desire to be back together for them. I mean, they have the freedom to live their own life. You see that? Because there's no more connection. All of the things that they want to do, they can do, because guess why? I'm not connected to you anymore. Basically, you were keeping me from doing what I like to do. Because it would be something I might say, well, I like to go here. You say, I don't want to do it. So now I can't go because of you. You've basically been keeping me from doing what I want to do. But now since I'm disconnected, I have that option. I have that ability. I can go and I don't have to worry about being holden to. You got what I'm saying? That's somewhere we don't want to be. Not with Yahuah. And that's what they do when you commit kata. Oh, let's see. Have bonding, affection, and attachment for, in a good or a bad sense. Because he told you not to harp their rights. Have a bond. Can we look at what bonding is? You know what they'll do when babies are born? They'll bring them into the mother. You know what they say they give them to her? They say, I need some bonding time. Where y'all can get an attachment for each other. Where the baby, where you stay real close and they'll wrap it and put them on and tell them just kind of keep them there so y'all can kind of bond together. And that's what we have to be careful about with the world, that we don't do too much, that we don't do that bonding. Okay. Having the function of joining things securely, especially by means of an adhesive, substance, heat, or pressure. Same with action. The establishment of a relationship or link with someone based on shared interest or that's how people become friends. You know, because of experiences or links or interests. Y'all got what I'm saying? So guess what happened in order for us to bond with Yahuah? We got to share. Listen, let's see something. Let me see some interest, experience. Let me see 8 and 1. See if it kind of make a listen. Let me see 8 and 1 of the book of Amos. Thinking that 20, what was it? Yahuah. Let's see something. I call this. Let's see why. All right, 8 and 1. Listen.
Thus had the Adonai Yahuah shewed unto me, and behold, a basket of summer pari. And he said, Amuz, what seest thou? And I said, a basket of summer pari. Then said Yahuah unto me,
hold on, they ain't moved up far enough. Okay.
The end is come upon my arm of Yasharal. I will not again pass by them anymore.
Let's see what they told him.
And the Sherim of the Mashakan shall be howlings in their yum.
They're saying the hinges and the ceilings. He's saying the songs. Howling. Scracking that yum. what they call a song, man. They're looking at the melody of it or the sound of it. That's not what he put, though. Go ahead. Come on.
Saith Yahuah Elohim, there shall be many mute bodies in every Malkum. They shall cast them forth with silence. Shama this, O ye that swallow up the needy, even to make the poor of the Arats to fail, saying, when will the Kadash Yarik be gone, that we may sell wheat, and the Shabbat, that we may set forth wheat, making the ephah small and the shekel great, and falsifying the balances by deceit.
Instead of make the, hold on for a minute, come back. To make the measure small and enlarge the weight, and make the balances unfair. Y'all see what he told me to do? To make the measure small and to enlarge the weight and make the balances unfair. Let's see something, since we read that. Look at the 23rd chapter, book of Yahuah. Yahuah 23:1. Y'all want me to just get a script and start coming in? Ain't no saying now. Don't drop out. I just like to see what I know. Let's see what it said. Listen.
Then spake Yahushua to the multitude and to his Talmudim, saying, the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Mushah's seat.
What happened?
All therefore, whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do, but do not ye after their works, for they say and do not.
Y'all see what he told they do? Okay, listen what he told they do.
For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne, and lay them on unashamed shoulder.
But what happened?
But they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers.
That's tight. Then he just tell you what they did. They increased the weight. How are they increasing the weight? They put more on you. They were putting more on you and said they were their little finger. He said made the ephah great and the shekel small. He said increase the weight on you. And made one small. And he said, then he told you it's not fair. So he started looking at what was fairness. Y'all got it? Right. That's why we try to look at the things to try and make sure we're equality. Even when he came along, the Shalak, Shaul told us about how he that gathered much had gathered much over. He that gathered much had nothing over. He that gathered little had no lack. About equality, making sure we had a fairness about ourselves. Even when you start to watch on where we'll eventually have to get to and where they were, that those people even got together and everybody sold what they had and gave their possession, and everybody parted that nobody had nothing. Right. You know where you had to be at from a rottenness situation? You had to be out of yourself. You do. You had to be out of yourself to look at, we got to have fairness. And a lot of times when people doing things, they don't realize that's always been his end. Trying to make sure that people are fair with each other. Make sure we do things, but we have to understand his operation and the science behind what he does. When he told us about, think about it, we opening our arms to the wide. For what reason? For the poor. What did he tell us about the poor? They'll never cease. Then he came up with an equality. It made sense why everybody came and laid what they had at the Shalakim feet. Right. That they'll call the apostle, which is the sent one. And they distributed according to everybody having need. So there's no need for you to open up. Think about this, and we hadn't thought about it. How are the poor going to cease out of the land? Some white people going to come in and say, have mercy, start handing out stuff? Those are going to be something we were going to have to do. See, a lot of things we do, we have the ability to do them, but we'll put it and go back to him a lot of times and put it on him to do it. But he taught us the simple science of how you got to do things. Even they came back with redeeming us. So let's see something. Well, let me see what this says. Redeeming the time. Let's see if 4, 3, 4. See if that Nakum Yah 5 and 1. Let's see what I want. They call it Nehemiah. Nakum Yah. Let's look up the name, Basha, what the name is. Then we'll come, please. Consolation of Yah. You got Nakum, Nakum Yah. So you can get consolation, Nakum, well, this is when you're getting it from Yahuah. Because think about this. Why y'all think people smoke crack? People, it's a consolation to them. Mm-hmm. They feel like that's their prize, or they get drunk. But now you're talking about we're trying to get the consolation. We move from consolation to understanding who we want the consolation of. Mm-hmm. And you know how that's going to happen? We have to have the same shared ideas. We have to have the same interests. Let me tell you why people don't come. And you'll try to talk to people, and I know, people date other people that's not here. And a lot of times people look at why people don't come, or maybe people watch or listen, but they don't. Because a lot of times the interest they have is with you. It's not necessarily in what you're doing on other ends. Right. So I can tolerate you with certain things. Versus with Yahuah, can we have, I'm into that, I got interest in Yahuah, I just don't come. I just don't do everything he tells me, but I got certain interests. You don't have any, because that Ahab is an attachment, and we had to learn that. Ahab ain't just an emotion, it's actually an action. You know what I'm saying? Mm. It's a verb, it's an action that you have to demonstrate. It can't be something you just say with your mouth. It's something you really have to put forth, that you have to have the same shared interests. Y'all got it? Mm. Hello?
Yes, sir.
In the book said we having the same,
like law.
The same what? According as it was written, I did what?
Amon.
I amon, and therefore I speak. Mm-hmm. You also amon, and therefore we speak. So in their conversation, we start to understand we have the same amonah, which means we have the same interest. This is an Ahab attachment. And a lot of times, while we don't do the way we need to do toward one another, it's been on my mind more, trying to make sure that we Ahab each other the correct way. We don't want to just, in the book he said, kabi be or yada, let us not Ahab in word. He said, but also in deed. Mm-hmm. There has to be action to show that Ahab. Y'all know that? There has to be something that actually has to be done. You know what I'm saying? To show that attachment, to show that connection. We have to have it. But it first starts with him. I won't want to try to practice it with you unless I make sure I got it right with him first. Because it's going to be a mess. It ain't going to be right with you. Mm. It ain't going to be right with you. It's going to be of a carnal act. It ain't going to be the right way. Mm. See, the way we got to do is attach it to him so we understand the premise. To show you how the involvement worked. And, it had to be, I had to look at it from a different standpoint. That when he gave you the mark, that it's 10, but 5 of them was for him, and 5. I want you to know how to live with me, okay? How many of y'all don't want to get sick? How many of y'all don't want to die? How many of y'all don't want to be out begging for stuff? Okay, don't have no other Elohims. Don't build none. Don't bow down. Don't fall down to worship. Keep the Shabbat. If you do anything other than that, I'm going to visit, whatever you do, I'm going to visit it on your kids till the 4th Tuledah, and I know me, I'm going to clear them. All these things, so you knew how to live with me. Living with him ain't hard. I understand these principles. Hey, man, he goes God right here, because everybody need a little Jesus with him. So y'all don't hear that. But hold on. You all right? You good? You got to try to get it set together? All right. Get a little call going. They pay me in the back. Give him something to drink right now. So everybody need a little G that's at home. Not all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, all right, yeah. So give him a little water. So then, so like folks tell you need a little G's in your life. A lot of things we can't have among us. Y'all got a lot of things we can't have, so we start to understand how important it is. Because now I put myself in a situation to where I'm going to have to detach to do it. To tell a lie, to fornicate, commit, I got to, with Yahuah, we understand, we're simply almost like Siamese twins. Don't y'all know, think about even with the Talmudim, they were constantly with them. They were attached to be there with them. He would sometimes separate himself off from them to kind of get himself about a stone cast away. He would withdraw himself, and then he would come back and he would gather with them. They were so close that people looked at and works and in attributes and things they did, they look like the same people. And for us, we kind of different. Then he gave us 5 of them off for us. See, people don't realize harmony is a way things kind of work. Y'all got what I'm saying? Things kind of just flow. So you'll watch a river flow or a creek flow, and you just see the water flow. You know, it's just got this. Look, because you know why? Everything's in harmony. You hear the bird, you see the insect, you see other, because there's a harmony. Guess what? Everything is working cohesively together. It's all following the order. And the order's not being broken. So things are happening the way they're supposed to happen. With us, we break that harmony. So he teach you how to do things. Say, you know the best thing to do? Don't covet nothing that's his. Don't want it. Anything. I'm trying to teach you how to have a harmony with me, where I don't come against you, and you need to have a harmony with each other. That shows me an important. You know how people say, really, I don't give a F about y'all, as long as I'm good with my Savior. You ain't even know what where you need to be. You ain't even in the running. Because your mark don't set that way. It's set up. I got a harmony with me. You got to have harmony with your partner. Because y'all got an attachment. Y'all have a mutual interest. So we have to understand he's always set things up. Otherwise, it works against you. When Adam was set in the gun, he broke protocol. He broke protocol with Yahuah, which also broke protocol with nature. Now nature work against you. It don't work for you no more. So, you know, we don't know people and stuff going on. Folks don't know what in the world going on. Why we don't know what's going on, all these tornadoes and storms and floods and droughts and fire? Why we don't know? Earthquake. I think it's Ra'ash for quake, a shaking, earthquake. I think it's R-A-A-S. Y'all didn't write that down? R-A-A-S. Pronounced Ra'ash. Pronounced with the A-S-H at the end of it. R-A accent A-S. Pronounced R-Ra-Ash for quaking or shaking, trembling. So now, what we start looking at, all these things started happening. That's the way we think and we see things aren't the way he see it. Which means that's why he had to come back and anoint our own. Mashiach our own so we'll see. All these things came because you started questioning. You knew I broke something with him. There's no way I'm going to be in unison with you. It's not going to work. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to get stuff straight with my brother. I want to get stuff straight with my brother. I can't get stuff straight with my brother if it ain't right with him. When we came to offer our zabak, our sacrifice, he said, leave it at the altar. Go get right with him and then come back and offer it. He said, otherwise we're going to have an issue. It's going to be a conflict. We have to fix this. And in teaching us that, so it gives us a different outlook on how we did. A lot of times we get going. Really ain't that important to me. Really don't matter. People get that and don't realize it doesn't work because the attachment embottles all of us together. So we started to understand how things work. Just like Yahushua started coming, and Yahuwah told her, amazing when Yahushua spoke, when we just read it, come to my mind, the 23rd chapter book of Matthew. These people, they buying heavy burdens on you. He let you know it was going to happen. And said they were one of their little finger, they won't do none of it. He started letting you know how this unfairness comes, how these things happen. He let you know, I'm coming to visit these people. Their visitation is near. I'm coming here to moshpot these people. Y'all got it. It's a day appointment. Sometimes people say you got some family. We would come, a little summer come. You would count down the time. Such sudden them come. We're going to have, you can't count down the time. Yahuwah said, I'm coming to visit you. But if a moshpot, I'm coming to pass sentence on these things. But he let us know before it happened that you guys have changed things. You've gone and you did something that was totally different. Let's see what he told them about the 23rd chapter. I mean, that same 23rd, 23. James will write one thing, the Greeks and the Latins write something different. Let's see what he told you. Listen.
Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites.
What's that? What are Parashim is their name? Parashim, which are the separate. Years ago growing up, how many of y'all didn't know what a Pharisee was? You know they tell us a Pharisee was? That's them hypocrites. Because that's not no definition for that word. You know what? You're a Pharisee. That's what you is. You don't even know what you said. Those are separated people. Those were people that separated themselves because they had a position. They ain't the only people. Louis did it. Louis was separated. That's who they were. They were you and you alone are the only people to come to me. What are that? Those are parachutes. You are separate. No, that's it. Let's see now. So don't forget, people that separate the hypocrites, right? According to their teaching. Because they said it was, let's say that's 7 and 23, the book of Abarim. Don't let people make no fool out you. Let's see what it said. Listen.
And they, Ahmad, were many Kohanim, because they were not suffered to continue by reason of moot.
That's what happened.
But this Ish, because he continued with Olam, had an unchangeable Kohan.
What the Greeks said, well, unchangeable, they just put alarm Kohan. Listen.
Wherefore he is able also to yasher them to the uttermost that come unto Elohim by him, seeing he Olam Kai to make intercession for them.
Let's see what happened.
For such and Rosh Kohan became us,
Who was what?
Kadash,
What else?
harmless,
What happened?
undefiled,
What else?
Kadash from Kataim, and made higher than the Shamayim.
Knew what they told you he was. Do y'all remember what their accusation was with Yahushua? He sat down and he ate with them. Y'all remember that was an accusation. So what that mean? You can't eat with a sinner? Because he sat down and ate with them. And he told you why he ate with them. He told you that they that are whole don't have need of physician, but they that were sick. He never did their acts. That's why we mess up. And we'll do that. We'll do the outward show part of keeping away. I don't want to be around you. I don't want anybody to see me with you. I want to say, no, it would matter. I'm still going to be the way the Torah prescribed. Okay, let's look at this. Luim was a group, the Peter called it, that was separated from us, that they and they alone could come to Yahuah. No one else. So they were a separate people. He said, I separated you from them. But the people had to come to them to make intercession. You got what I'm saying? We just had to make sure we don't do after your works. Got what I'm saying? See, a lot of time we did, it was an understanding separation where if hypothetically a candidate got up and he did something that was contrary to Torah, we were supposed to separate ourselves from him. But that was supposed to show our out that his action detached him from us. Because when he would ever describe the Yasharal, he would describe them as one person, which means all those people attached together. So it's important to look at your actions because you could affect everybody around you. Y'all got it? But it was to draw him, to get him to want to be back connected, the same way it came for us. That feeling of him feeling disconnected, we not around him because of his action, we separate ourselves, was to make him look at getting back into the con of Yahuah so he could be back connected to us in a heart. Let's get what it is, back in a heart. You're not in a heart unless you're in unison with Yahuah. Y'all got it. You're not. There's no way possible. Don't even put it out your mind. You don't have it. You don't have, because you don't share the same interest. We don't see saying the same way. He showed Yirmiyahu out there and went to a moose. He showed Yirmiyahu 2 baskets of figs. He said, what do you see? He said, one of them is 2. He said, the other one is rotten. He said, woo, it's so rotten you can't even eat it. He said, I can talk to you. We got the same interest. He looked, said, both of them good to me. I can eat either one of them. I ain't even talking to you. Because we don't have the same shared interest. Because if you see this, then I'm going to tell you something. Yasharal that didn't go when I told him to leave, that's them rotten figs. Those are the ones that you say you couldn't eat them. I can't stand to keep them. They need to understand that. Not only what he said was rotten, think about it. When Ka'ur saw the fruit, what did she say? It was just, let's look good. You can eat it. It wasn't she just looked at it and saw it. You could eat it. You can consume it. There's nothing wrong with it. That's why he looked at me and you, we ain't in a hall. Because if you had my same interest, you would have never ate it. Y'all see the difference? This is what we have to understand on this process by Qatar. You have to do the same thing he did. I think I want to say, oh, good, let me see. Whew, 1:30. It's at 137, I think, of the book of Tahalim. Might be 21. Read down. Dawood should have told her how he felt about people. Let's see. Maybe I think that's what I want. 137. Is it 134? He should have told her he hate them. Who he hate? Tahalim. Halim. Is it 137? No, 137 about a river. No, not 137. 134. What is it?
139.
139.
21.
Ain't 20. I know it's 21. My mind was sorry about that. Let's get 19. Let's see what 19 say. How you gonna be 21? You never been 19. Look, listen.
Surely thou wilt slay the Rosha, O Elohim. Depart from me, therefore, ye bloody unashamed.
You said hang around with me because, that's on him. You listen, you still my friend. I don't let Elohim pick my friend. You hear what that man said? Surely he gonna kill the wicked, O Elohim. Look what he want them to do.
Depart from me, therefore, ye bloody unashamed.
Why he didn't want me to stay with him? You can't, listen, people ain't got to have your same religious belief, the way you see stuff. That's the way, why y'all think he said Dawood was a man? What was again that?
Out his own law.
Ooh. Me and him attached to the same stuff. We see stuff the same, we got the same interests. That man said, listen, this man gonna kill you. Go get away from around me. Separate yourself. Listen what he told him.
For they.
Hold on, they ain't got that. Okay.
For they speak against.
Hold on. We went to 2. We went to verse 2. 20. Go ahead. Listen.
For they speak against thee, Rosha, and thine enemies take thy Shem in vain.
Wow. Well, they didn't say his name. They said the cities here. They said cities here. So they put the name in vain. They say take the cities in vain here. They put name. So I don't know what they working here, but that's a little different than what the Greeks and what the others saw. But they looked at that. For they speak against thee, Roshan, and thine enemies take thy cities in vain. He looked at this. He said, these folks, surely Yahuah going to kill these people. He going to slay them. See, he had the same interest Yahuah had. How we've been thinking about loving him is we have this feeling for him. It ain't about no feeling. It's about what we'll do. He saw things the way Yahuah saw it. If they Rosha, if they wicked, and they took your stuff in vain you given them, then you're going to surely slay them. I want them to depart from me. He saw the same way we did. What did Yahuah saw when we sat in the cities and we done wrong? He told her to get you out of my sight. Get out of my own. Dawood saw it the same way. I need you out of my sight. I don't want you in my own. I don't want you in my presence. Yahuah going to slay you.
Right.
Let's see. Listen.
Do not I hate them, O Yahuah, that hate thee.
And?
Am not I grieved with those that come up against thee?
He said, waste away. Look at that. He's saying grieve him. He said pine. That's not saying the same thing. He's saying grieve. They're saying pine is waste away, similar to that pine. You'll find pine, they use that in Leviticus, they call it, in Uyakra. In about the 26th chapter, he started talking about us pining away, wasting away. They use wasted and pine. He used grieved. He talked about he pined away because of his enemy, because of thine enemy. You saw what Dawood do? Have I not hated them, O Yahuah, that hated who? All these folks try to look at why Abraham and all these people are friends of Elohim, because we share the same interests. See, I know this. Does this make sense to y'all now? Understand when people trying to say that I love the Lord? They don't know what they're saying. They have no idea of what they're saying. It's Ahab. You're going to tell me that love and Ahab is the same thing. This is an attachment and based off of us having the same interest ideas. We have a bond toward this. And now what was our bond? It was the berith he gave. That's why he looked at you, broke my berith. It's the same as you separating Siamese twins. You detached away from it. Because you got different interests. What do you think when you commit kata? It's because your interests. The interests are different. And that's what he looked at. Like, can two walk together? Wow. And we talking about Yahuah walk with me. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. You telling a lie. We have different interests. You broke the bond. Y'all got what I'm saying? That's how important it is for us to understand where we need to be when it comes down to our salvation and understanding the word. When he talked about us Ahab in him. Y'all got it? He even looked at, when we look at money or acknowledging him, just like calling him Shem, right? We call him the Adon, we call him Yahuah, and that's why it's important for us to understand the existing one. It's important for us to know all these things about him. Y'all got it? He wanted to always clarify that I am the existing one. All of these other Elohim, that's why he wouldn't have us to make them. All those things are dead. They have no life in them. When he came up, like they come up with the Christmas tree, this was not a Christmas tree. This was an idol that people had. And he told you about these things. You have to carry those things. It's an idol. He said they can't move. You have to move them. You have to carry those things. He took a lot of those weights off of us. A lot of things he just moved away from us so we wouldn't get caught up with other goings. Y'all got it? Let me see 6 and 44 of the book of Oriel. They call it Luke. Let's see. Listen.
For every ox is known by his own pari. For of thorns unashamed do not gather figs, nor of a bramble bush gather they grapes.
That's simple stuff he told you. He said, for every ox is known by its pari. Y'all got it? Mm-hmm. Guess how we knew that Yahushua came from the Abba? Because of his works, which was his pari. His works actually manifested who he was from and who he was. Y'all got it? I told you, an apple tree will never go right, I am an apple tree on it. Neither will plum trees, none of bushes will go right, none of them. You're going to know them by their attributes. And you're going to know whether or not they're two by when you indulge into the fruit of the pari. That's why the book told you, oh, taste and see. That's why you had to go do it. You know what I'm saying? Or Khan. You know what I'm saying? Where they say he was gracious. And one writer say he was gracious. So we go back to look at all of those things. That's why it was so important how Yahushua told us. Like I might have something. I said, try it, man. It's really good. Do I tell you, try it. To taste it. That's why Yahuwah told us to try him. Prove me. He wants to prove him. So you can see for yourself that he actually was what he said. All the things he told us about him, he wanted us to know them by his attribute. That's how we see certain things, we know it's Yahuwah. Y'all got it? Y'all might get blindfold. How many of y'all got blindfolded? Somebody gave you an apple, you didn't know what you were eating. It don't matter if you were blindfolded or not. You're going to know it's an apple. How many of y'all were blindfolded? Somebody gave you an orange, you wouldn't know an orange. You're going to know an orange. Why? Because you're familiar with it. Got it? You have a relationship with it. You have knowledge of it. That's how you're going to know it, whether you see it or not. Well, you don't see Elohim. How do you know it? Because we have knowledge of. Got it? You have knowledge of. People tell all the time, you don't have to physically see it to know it exists. Like the wind. Do you physically have to see the wind? You see the things that the wind caused to what? Move, to change, to unfold, or destroy, or bring into. Y'all got what I'm saying? That's the same thing with Yahuwah. Yeah, we know it. Can you prove the wind exists? By you seeing it, or you see it by what? By feeling. The same thing people argue about Yahuwah. I can feel him. You can feel the wind, but you can't see it. I can see all the things that he does. You can see the thing the wind does. Can't you? Yes, sir. So why won't we acknowledge him the same? All these things aren't just natural, what they call causes. These things all align into a pattern. They all align into a science in a sense. He established it. He'll establish the work for us when we're working with him. He'll establish it to work against us when we go against him. That's used to bring you back into. The man preserved a fish just for Yahuah. What happened? It was a benefit to him. Being trapped in there for 3 years, what happened when he got up? That man can't, ain't nobody cried out harder than he did. See, all the stuff, look at that. He used the wind to come in and trouble the water, the Ma'im, didn't he? And stirred up and caused it to be so unstable and uncertain. What? He looked at, I gotta go. Isn't that right? And as soon as he fell out, what happened? There was a calmness. Showing you right there, that's the science of how he set things up. That nature works against you to get you to get back into the corner of Yahuah. And you think about that. How many things works against us in our relationship? How many things works against us in our health to try to get us back into the knowledge or acknowledging of, yet we don't even pay attention to it? Hello? A lot of these things he put up to trouble us. We had a malak that had fell down through a ladder. And who did he go and consult? Elohim? And every malak he sent out to go, or every malaki messenger he sent out to go, they were destroyed, except for the last one. And he wanted him to know, is it because there was not an Elohim in Yasharal that you inquire after these others? Don't y'all know we're going to have to get all the way back with Elohim? Right now, we too baby. We too baby to keep us up, to get us to pay attention, to get us to stay consistent in what we're doing. But right now, he couldn't get the formitude of what he wants out of us right now. We're too baby. He said when the time we ought to be teachers, we kind of needed one teachers again. He said that'd be the first principle. You think he said Moshe just told him to go take them people? No, he taught him. What's in your hand? It's a lemon. He said, throw it on the ground. And when he did, it became a nakash, and he ran. He said, come back, take it back by his tail. And he took it back by his tail, so it became right back alignment. He wasn't going to send him out there inexperienced. I need you to understand, when I see you to tell this man that you're going to go to, because everybody fear this man. And I need you to have Yahuah for me. He ran. When he saw you, he faced to the ground. He knew. I seen something that's superior over anything else. I've dealt with something that's greater. That's how I take my stance. But for us, a lot of time, the greatest thing we done seen are these people. That's why it's hard for us to be bold enough to do what he wants to do. Don't y'all know when we see this stuff, we supposed to tear this stuff down. We the first people pick it up. He don't even hesitate to tear it down. But because what we see, man, these people got guns, these folks got military, man, these folks will kill you out here. Then we're kind of hesitant toward moving. Now, guess what? Let's use wisdom. Because guess what you can do now? You can draw more bees with honey. That's right. I assure you ain't trying to catch no bees. Okay? Bees make honey. Bees don't need you to put no honey down to get them. They make their own honey, okay? So a lot of stuff we say is only for who? For us. To rationalize our inconsistency, our ill will toward trying to stay doing what we're doing versus breaking that and staying with this is what he predicated for us to do. That makes sense to y'all? Don't y'all know he's got to move us back into? But it can't happen because a lot of stuff we hadn't understood. We've been just saying with our mouth. Even the book told us in Yahuah, for with their mouth, Paul, but they'll go where? It goes after their covetousness. See? Separation again. It detaches. What you like detaches. He don't want no detach. He want attach. Y'all got it? This word is supposed to make us, it's supposed to be an adhesive to us. You know what I'm saying? The way it's supposed to keep us. Y'all got it? Let me say, he'll keep him in who, if they just ask. To stay on him is just stay on Yahuah. And what I'm thinking about? Yahuah. No, I'm not just going to think on Yahuah. I'm going to think on the things of Yahuah. Because you got to remember, I only know him by his pari. What's all his attributes? His amar, his stature, his mashpat. These are things. People thinking, I just keep my mind on Yahuah. That's why I got that P. Yahuah. No, the fruit. He just told you how you going to know him. By the pari. What's the pari? You see what I'm saying? So when I'm constantly thinking on the things of Yahuah, y'all got it. These are the things that's going to get me to shalom. Because when I break away from these things, that's where my detriment come in at. So keep me, like we're saying, Lord just keeping me. The Lord, no, he's not keeping me. My mind has to stay consistent on his Torah, on his mashpat, on his statutes. So I'm mindful, zakar, to mark as to, that makes a difference. I just mark it as to remember it. Y'all got it. The book told he had a book of remembrance. What's inside a book? Strokes, writings. He said, so I put them to remember. Hello? So now I'm constantly looking at them and going over the things I'm supposed to remember. Eventually they start to get into my actions. Y'all got it? In my conversation. All these things become a part of me, and these are the things of Elohim. So now I start to present myself or start to act in a way as of Elohim, because I'm thinking on the things. These are the things he said, Ahab. I attach myself to my Torah. So anybody that's going to be a beneficiary of me is going to be somebody that's going to ahab me. Not with their mouth. They're going to attach themselves to me and the things of me. That's what he said. For every ox is known by the bark.
On pari.
That's why I said, no. How you think? Let me tell you something else. So what is the pari? Who? Works. Let's call the pari. The pari is the fruit of that tree. That's what that tree bared. Okay? That's how we know Yahushua. Know Yahuah by Yahushua. Yahushua tried to tell you that we didn't even know the Abba. You hadn't seen him at any time. But he talked about where his completeness came in is through the bend. Man, let me tell you something. I take a bunch of butt-naked trees and put them out there. That is impossible unless you just very familiar in archery or something. You will not know what that tree is. There is no way nobody knew who the Abba was except by the pari. I'll put a tree out there. I'll put a pecan tree. I'll put an apple tree. Unless you're just familiar with the difference, and that's the only way you'll be familiar with those trees is because of the fruit. And by the fruit, you start to recognize the bark and recognize the design of the tree to know that tree. How you know it don't have anything? Because I'm familiar with it. Y'all got what I'm saying? But the pari is what let you know what kind of ox it was. There's no way you can know the Abba without the fruit. I'm sorry, without the bin, the sun. So people try to say, you don't need the sun. That makes no sense. He just told you can't know a tree except by its fruit. So how could you know the Abba without the bin? Let me tell you how I know Abraham the father. When Elohim came and told him to get out from his father's house. So what now? Say it louder, Karen. He had children. What would that let me know? So I knew him by his fruit. Where you knew Abraham was no father when he got him out of the house? He wasn't no father when he got him out of the house. It was because of what he bared. It was because of the son. That's how I knew he was the father. I would have it's no reason for me to call him no father, Abraham, unless I knew his fruit. I wouldn't have known Elohim, and you do not know Elohim without his fruit, which is his bin. Hold you got. Let me show you something. What's that, 11:25, Matthew? All I want to do is make it in. I really don't make it in. I got to make it in. I got to make it in.
Yes, sir.
I mean that. I want us to think on that, y'all. We got to make it in. With everything we're going through, and like he told us that we through much tribulation, we got to enter into the Mount Kuth Elohim. Y'all, I'm telling y'all something. We done had it real easy. It ain't going to be like this the whole way. I'm trying to make preparation because he told me I know it coming, that we're going to try to prepare ourselves so it won't overtake us. I'll be honest with y'all, we're going to have to suffer. We have to suffer the rain, but we can kind of alleviate ourselves of some of this suffering.
That's right.
Y'all got it?
Yes, sir.
Some of it we can alleviate ourselves of. Some of it is self-inflicted. I'm just telling you, some stuff self-inflicted. All right, let's say, this is 11:25. Yahuah, they call Matthew. Listen.
At that time,
I couldn't imagine.
Yahushua answered and said,
What did he say?
I hadu thee, O Abba.
They say he said, I confess. That's not the same thing. What? Go ahead.
Adon of Shamayim and Arat,
Why?
because thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent,
And
hast revealed them unto babes.
unto the little ones, let's see what he told us.
Even so, Abba, for so it seemed tube in thy womb.
That what happened?
All things are delivered unto me of Abi, and no ish knoweth the ben, but the Abba.
Wow. What happened?
Neither knoweth any ish the Abba,
But-
save the ben.
And what else?
And he to whomsoever the ben will reveal him.
See that? He lets you know the same thing. There's no way you can know it. He said nobody knew who the Father was except the Ben. Ain't that right? The fruit had to come out for us to know the tree. The Son had to come out so we could know the Father. He said it seemed good in your sight. That's the only way they could know it. It's impossible to know it. See, people have been rationalizing their minds some stuff they think makes sense. It don't make sense. Unless it manifests itself, then you don't know it. So how you know it unless he manifests itself? He did it through his pari. That's how we knew Elohim by Ibn Mizraim, by all his working. We knew him by all his work. He said, I'm going to show you all my arts. I'm going to show you all my wonders. These are the attributes of me. I'm the arts that all of y'all sprung from. And I'm going to show you my pari. These are the works that I do. I'm going to show you the benefits of me. And I'm going to show you how it'll work against you if you turn against me. Just like nature, it'll work against you. This Aras ain't tearing itself up for no reason. Man don't went against it, and it's going against him. Elohim is against us because we were against him. Now he knows in order to get us back, we can say, as they did, bring in Zabak for our wrongdoing. But if we don't stop the wrongdoing, you're still going to be in transgression and violation. You keep subject and prone to come back to it again. And for him, it don't make no sense. It makes much sense in him recircumcising you. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. It makes sense that when Yahushua did it, just like with Abraham, it was for once and for all. There's never time to go back and circumcise a man a second time. It makes absolutely no sense. So he looked at, when I remove this thing from you, there's no reason for this to ever happen again. But it's going to happen through knowledge. That's what's going to happen, through the knowledge. People talking about the Spirit coming. The word is. Because, listen, you get it unseen, but yet you can see the manifestation of it, or what it moves upon, or how it moves other things. The word gets us to do that. Then no spirit, I told you, then no spirit come and move me out of no apartment. Then no spirit come and pick me up and pour out no beer. Then no spirit pour out my marijuana. Then no spirit, when I try to pull my pins out of the fornicate, put it back in and zip it up. Information. You got to give a person information and let them understand this is going to be a violation and you're going to be against me. And I'm going to be against you. That's how we got to that point to start triggering to let you see I'm against you. Y'all got it? So we can see how the word itself becomes what? Kai. And it becomes Ruach. And it becomes Kai, it becomes light. Because I'm telling you the thing, if you keep sitting right there, you're going to die. That's the spirit. That's what. No, sit right there waiting on the spirit to get you up. Can you keep sitting right there, you're going to die. No, just wait, the spirit come get you up. He just waiting on the spirit to come. That is it. Y'all got it. That is it. Because you think when you speaking, guess what? That's right. You're speaking. Guess what? Life is coming into it. I'm giving him words of exaltation for life. If that was actual, the real. I don't want nobody to say, "Oh, Ken, you gonna die pretty." But I'm just telling you. I know they have twist stuff on me. But the thing is, you understanding how it gives life. That is raw. He said hypothetically, they sitting around waiting on the Spirit to come pick him up. When the Lord get ready, I guess I'll move. It's letting you know now what's going to happen. Just like he told me about the ox. The Ruach was in the garden with him. The fact that I've given you that information and you taking that information on and you uphold to that information, that's the Ruach. Y'all got it? Him keeping us in purpose. You think literally he going to come and physically put his hands on me to keep me from something? Not at all. It's still there. But the information I have empowers me now because I understand the validity of what's said. This ain't something I'm just taking. I mean, that was back then. Things done changed. No, I understand. This is a law. This is a law. Because his word is who he is. And he let you know, I continue to exist. I don't ever stop existing. So when will my word change? It never changes. Then you know what happened with us? Well, it's been a while, so I don't know. We still got to do that. That's the problem, because you're looking at things dying off and things changing, new administrations and things coming. He said his administration still been the same. Isn't that right? Beyond moot. You know what I'm saying? That was his confirmation for us when we look at in Zechariah in the first chapter. We told her, look at your Abba. He said, where are they? What about the Nabim? He said, but my Debar. Did not it take hold of them? And they came back and they confessed, as Yahuah thought to do to us. That's what he did. To let us know, I don't know why you think you're going to escape. It came right back on them. That's why we look at it. How should they escape if they neglect? He said, how you going to escape it? You can't get away. Adam couldn't hide. He couldn't hide. He going to find you. The word he told it came right back again. All the hiding, all the covering himself to try to look like something he wasn't, look like something that he actually wasn't, he still had to come back out to manifestation. Because the word going to take hold of you. Y'all got it? That's why now we starting to consider, look at things before we do them. Really weigh everything that we do. Now, he told her, people going to look at it and say, what a wise goyim this is. And now, guess what else they had? The Torah, and what else they had? You said they had what? I hear them back there. What y'all saying? The Nabim. Who else did he say he had? An ear. He said that who else had Elohim so near to them? Because he attached to him. It's a hard. That's what he looked at. We were so close to him. Why y'all think he was with us? He was so close with us. We had the same interests. He was going to take us a place he had spied out. We wanted to be there. That's why we were going. We wanted to be there, so we're going to go with you. A lot of times people looking for Yahuah to be with him. Which way you going? That's just it. We got to understand the process. It's simple, but people try to make it complicated for what? To keep us away from it. Once we understood the message and understood that a lot of these words, they told us the same thing, it's like love. It's not like love. Because you can love somebody and love somebody else too. When you're attached to Yahuah, his interest, all the things you love had to be the same thing he does. All the things had to be, you make this had to become your whole being. This man showed vessels that were created. And man, he said, this man who made this and destroyed it, is he wrong? He said, no, he made it like he wanted it. And when he saw it wasn't what he wanted, what he did? He took it and because he looked at it, that's not what I wanted. I don't like it. Everybody said, man, that's stupid. He said, you know what I mean? He said, just looking at what he's doing. He said, I watched him working. He made it. He got through. Look, that's not what I meant to make. I don't want that. And he said he made it again to his own fashion till he liked it. And he got finished. He saw it leave. He said, that's what he liked. He said, that's how I'm with Yasharal. I don't like what they're doing. So I took, because, for us, think about it. It don't make sense. Hypothetically, time. You made me, and then you just destroyed me. It don't make sense. He said, let's go down to the potter's house. Watch that man work on the wheel. And it's going to be, he's going to fashion what he like. He said, that's me. I fashion you to what I like. And when you're not what I like, then I'm going to take you and I'm going to mar you and I'm going to make something I want. I'm going to make it into something I want. He's like, no, I'm going to win. He said, when have you seen them? How many of y'all got any vases or glass dishes in your house or anything? Anybody got that? How many of y'all heard that thing push that cabinet up? Why the hell I'm sitting up in this cabinet? Door all closed all the time. I want to be able to see out this thing. What you going to do with that glass? But why though? Hold on. So the glass can't have its own mind. You close the thing, it open it back up. I can't see. What's going to be your problem with it? You bought it, you purchased it. He showed us all that. Just like he said, I redeemed you from the belt of money. He looked at when somebody owns a slave and they sell them, then you property of. He said, well, I came and I paid for you. He broke it at every sign. I made you, so I should have a right. If I own you, I should have a right. If I purchased you and paid a debt for you, then I got a right to you. He tried to show us in every attribute, I have a right to you. In any way you want to look at this, I own your ass. That's been the hardest part we can get to. We'll fight everybody, but everybody that's in the world owns us. Everybody in the world controls us. He just look at why I can't get that same level of respect. The book told you that you were not your own. He told you were bought with a price. Therefore, you were supposed to do what? Kabul Yahuah with what? With your body and your members, which are, I own all of it. I own your ass. In a martial league, I own your ass. But we never really look at it that way to understand why there's so much of a control call. Come on, we need me time. We need me time. Y'all got it. We come back here for the Shabbat to kind of fuel ourselves back up to get an understanding. We go back here to battle these people for another 6 days. We do it because in 6 years, it's a lot of stuff come at us. And then they come back in here to put more, what we'll look at is oil in your vessel. Yeah, because you're a lampstand. That's why he told you let your let your light or oil so shine. That's right. So that unashamed can see your tube and they give a kabul to the Abba. See that? Through you, he said they're going to give me the kabul. Because all these people need to see is somebody that's holding to something. That's not hard. A lot of folk that why they do it, they know I'm holding to something. That's all they need to do. And if you can spark one or two more people, and they'll get sparked, and somebody will see them. And it all go back to the Abba. Y'all got it. That's the only thing we try to do is get them back to the Abba. Hello? They're like certain cars that built and go. That send people back to the manufacturer. And look at who build fast cars or pretty cars. They build them and put them out there so people come back to them. They'll put certain things in them to make people regular. They got certain, come right back to them. So guess what? They get the kabul for it. Y'all got it. That's the same thing why he built us. So when people try us and people test us, when people see us, people will desire to get back to the manufacturer to become one of us. Hello? That's our goal. Try to get a completeness. Where we at now? Let's finish this up. So he started telling us about for every ox is known by its pari. We understand. For unashamed do not gather figs from thorns. What figs come from? He's telling them what they should naturally know. People in archery who deal with, gathering in, fruit from fruit trees, they understand this. From thorns, nor from a bramble bush do they gather
grapes.
They come from a vine. He started letting you know that's just the logical principle of how things work. Let's see what else happened. We should still be talking about fruit. Let's say.
A tube each out of the tube treasure of his Lord bringeth forth that which is tube.
Well, that's true. He just tried to explain. First of all, get you to understand that. He told you what those trees do. A bramble bush on its best day can produce no grapes. It's not there. Neither can a man that's Rosha produce nothing tube out of his log. He wants you to understand. I know we'll say, I know some people that sin up, but they'll help people. The problem you already got messed up, they sinners. So you're saying that you can get grapes from a bramble bush. He's letting you know. Why would he tell you this? I'm telling you something. That is not. Is it possible? Let me ask you. Look up there. Can you put? I don't know how you type this. Put. Where can you get grapes to grow other than a vine? Can we look at that and see?
Yes, sir.
I don't know. It could be up here. Let's see. Let's Google. Well, yeah. Can grapes grow on something other than vine? You put grape. I put S. Grapes. Complete growing. Yeah, okay. Grapevine growing tip. Grapes are woody. What's that? Perennial vines plant in full sun to provide the heat required to ripen the fruit. Each vine needs about 6 feet of space. Flowers and fruits develop on new shoots called canes. Growing them in home garden. For some reason, they're not showing you nowhere else you can get them but those vines. They tell you how to grow them on vine in the sunlight they need. You can put them in your backyard, but they're going to have to be attached to a vine. So, why do we believe that people still good when they're Rosham? He went with something that you couldn't argue. Nature itself teach you that. That there's nowhere physically, nowhere natural you can grow a grape other than vine. It's not possible. It's got to shoot from a vine, right? Why would you start talking about a man? How a good man out of the, guess what? Good treasure of his law bringeth forth that which is, let's see why, because he's a good man. His treasure good. It only makes sense he's going to bring out some good stuff. And a Rosha Ish, out of the Rosha treasures of his law, bring forth that which is Rosha. For of the abundance of the law, his par speaketh. So what you got that come out of that man, just like when you look at the vine, that's what came out of it. Where did the fruit come? It come from out of the tree, the ox. That's why he told you when he planted the tree, he said whose seed was. So now he's telling you when a man does stuff wrong, it's in him. That didn't just pop up from nowhere. That came because that's what's in you. An apple tree don't just shoot out from no root of no tree. It come from the inside of that tree. The oranges come from the inside. He's telling you when a man does things, that came from the inside of that man's law. That's where his treasure at. Because if you look at the heart is where a man hold all his hates and his love. So he said that's where it came from. You either or. You either tube or you Rosha. And we the only people say, well, I wouldn't say bad. Of course you wouldn't. He said, let's put it straight down the measure. Now, can you gather any grape from a bramble bush? No. He said, ain't nobody Rosha can do nothing right. Now they make you put it in and say, man, I ain't think I was that kind of bad a person. And that's why you ain't changed. Because nobody ever told you that you completely all the way wrong. Why y'all think people don't change with Christianity? Because there's some good sinners. I'm not going to call all them sinners bad. Because you're trying to draw them. He said, no, leave them where they, you're going to draw them, tell them the truth. That's right. That you ain't. You either all the way or you not. He told you, he that don't gather with him. He's saying, hold on for a minute. He said, ain't no playing with this. You either with me or you scattering. That's right. He put it there in where they had no escaping. Them people had to sit on the restaurant. Well, I need to be gathering. I remember one time we were going to do noon palau. We be at the Wayne was up there, and we had went in Austin office. I said, we're going to get ready to do noon palau. Danny was up there, and Danny was sitting at the outside the door. And he on the door. He said, Danny, we finna get ready to do noon palau, or you going to do your own thing? Danny looked at me and got, I said, that is tight right there. I mean, he had no choice. He told that man, he said, you going to do noon palau, or you going to do your own thing? Danny just looked like, are you serious? You know I'm finna pull out with y'all. I'm finna look like I'm doing my own thing. But he put it in a way like that to do that. You see what I'm saying? Like George Bush said, you either with us or the terrorists. He made no choice. You had to be with him. Everybody, you know, they say, oh, you're a terrorist. You know, you're like, how you put me in that? Because I need you to go ahead and confess it. I need you to show attributes you with us. Show your patriotism toward. That's what he was looking at. So now we look at this where he's telling a good man out of the good treasures of his law, bringing forth that which is true. And a Rosha Ish, out of the Rosha treasures, bringing forth that which is Rosha. For out of the abundance of the law, abundance is treasure, things kept. That's why it's important for us to go through to examine ourselves, to see what's in there that can be a defect or a fault. Because once you pile up enough of it, you got more wrong than you got right in it. And it's going to overweigh it. Hello?
Sir.
Even him, when he put people in there, he tried to put the most of us in it to outweigh, to try to subdue the wrong. But what wound up happening? The wrong wound up subduing us. Y'all got it? Let's see what he told us at 46. This is what he told you now. This tight. Listen.
And why call ye me Adon, and do not the things which I say?
What you think he just told you? You hate him? He just tried to set him there, tell you that you were Rosha. You done done Rosha. You want to know why was you calling on me? You don't even do the things I say. And that's only because of what was in your heart. He just wanted to show what's in our heart. Well, I mean, I don't feel like I'm a bad person. You're a bramble bush. It's not possible you can bring forth what I want. You couldn't do it because of what's in your law. So we start doing self-examination and go back over ourselves and look at what could cause us to detach from him or cause or keep us from connected to him. First thing is to connect, okay? Like they said, sometimes folk meet, they'll say, go ahead and maybe talk to this young lady or some woman, look at something. They said, first of all, you try to look for, a connection. Isn't that right? Some mutual that you see or interest to say, I'll proceed further into trying to procure this. Y'all got it? Well, it's the same thing with us. The only thing he'll look at, he's looking for people that do the works of Abraham. That's what he's looking for, people do the works of Abraham. If he's going to work at trying to procure you or trying to pursue it and trying to make this relationship, you have to bear forth the works of Abraham. That's who he gave the Berit to. Hello? Yes, that's who he gave the Berit to Abraham. That's what he's looking at, not breaking his Berit with Abraham. Then he had a man like Daud, which was a man after his own law. A man that attaches to the things that I have, to the same interests. Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. So once we get that, then we got to look at what do we have to do to make sure we don't cause a break to come in the middle of that. Because we're gonna connect to them like Siamese twins. Now we just got to make sure we don't disconnect to try to do our own thing. Try to break off so we can have our own life. Don't you know when Siamese twins hook and connect together, they don't have no two hearts. I don't know, maybe some. Some of them are so connected, they got one bowel. They got one bowel. So whatever they take in, you got to look at it, it's going to affect both of us. Well, we're going to affect both of us. Both of us want to live. Both of us going to do things that's going to be conducive to life. Huh? We're going to have to be minded that we have to come into an agreement on where we're going to go. Y'all got it. We got to agree on where we're going. Well, that's with Yahuah, everything got to be an agreement. Hello? Do y'all think about this kind of stuff? We need to think about why y'all think we have such a disconnect with this man? Because we're doing our own thing. And that's what hurts us in the latter end. Because we don't look at you have to detach to do your own thing. To do the things of Elohim, you got to attach to him. Hello? There were people that Shaul told had addicted themselves to the Debal. What does an addict typically do? Huh? I didn't hear you. That's right. They keep trying to procure what it is they're addicted to. They keep trying to feed the habit. Well, that's what we got to do. We got to get we become addicted to Elohim. That we constantly keep feeding the habit. That's why he told it. Each don't live by bread alone, but by, that's his habit. The man got to have the word. He got to have the word. That's the only thing that works for him. He's addicted to it. And that's what we got to learn. All these common things we see out here in the world are things we can learn from and get a better understanding of where we got to be when it comes to our salvation. or even trying to obtain salvation. Recognizing the state we in. We're in a state that we need to be delivered from it. Right? But some people, I don't know, some of y'all okay. You all right, you're not okay. When that man just told us that a good man out of good treasure of his heart bring forth good things, and a roaster man out of roaster treasure of his heart bring forth roaster things, and they just told you, he don't even know why you even calling on me. You don't even do what I told you. All that, we had to start looking at what am I doing, what could I be doing that could keep this man to tell me not to even, don't even Kara on this ship. I feel like I'm a pretty good person. I don't do everything I'm supposed to do. And the man just said, you don't do nothing. He taught us that if you offend in one point, you're an adulterer, you're a liar, you're a homosexual. You know, we look at it, man, the pocketbook, man, gay. Yahuah said, man, I see you the same way. You know, that guy there, man, I call no guy no sister, no straight man. Man, he ready to fight you, knock your teeth out your mouth. Yahuah said, I see you just like a homosexual. And it's an offense to us. Wouldn't it be an offense? A man, woman asks you, hey man, you gay? You're like, man, I'll knock your damn teeth out your mouth. Who you talking to? If it don't get hit, then the only way I'm tell you, I'm gonna knock them out. I want you to know it's coming. But then the whole thing gonna be Yahuah looking at, I look at you the same way to other people. All the homosexuals, a man that won't retain what I gave him. The book say he won't retain the knowledge. That's right. He wouldn't keep the knowledge. It ain't nobody ain't had it, they won't retain it. Y'all know that? And Yahuah look at you won't retain the knowledge. He's looking at, I can't see the difference between you guys and a homosexual. That's include me too now. He said, I can't see the difference. Man, I ain't never cheated on my wife. He said, I can't see the difference between you and adultery because you've been cheating on me. Think about it. I turned from a state of being like Elohim to be like carnal man or like a beast. I ain't homosexual. I just turned away from a nature. That's right. When he made Adam, he said, and let him have. He's gonna be the image of me, the express image. And now he turned away from it. The man went and dressed himself up like a tree. You just turn away. Ain't that homosexual? We still got, man, look at that faggot. They just go around with a dress on the pocketbook. Hey, look at this, all of him done dressed himself up with leaves and hid himself behind trees. You done left nature. I designed you to be like me, to manifest me. See, we don't look at it that way. All we've been looking at the sister and the bulldyker. And who we trying to be like? Hello? We done fell. We done fell away from it because how the world get up looking at obvious sins of what we recognize. A butt-naked man, a butt-naked woman walking down the street, how they gonna hide? What about the people that have been stripped from being like Elohim to be like these other people? That's to your shame. That's to your shame. Yeah, we done lost the principle of who we were supposed to be like these people out here. No different. Elohim side, he said, in all things are naked with whom we have to do. He see us anyway. He know we hypocrite and we fall, but he know they ain't really how we are, what we actually think, what we're trying to attain. That's why I appreciate the fact he's giving us an opportunity to be real with ourselves, whether you want to do it or you don't want to do it. I won't waste my time. If this ain't something I want to do, I'm where I'm at in my life, I wouldn't even waste my time. I ain't going to do it. It don't make sense. You know what get me though? If I make that decision and you get on out there and that thing overtake you and you can't get back and he put you in a situation and he cut you off where ain't no man can release it, no man can get you back, I wouldn't want to do it. That's the part that got me. I ain't doing it anyway. I look at that. I've seen it. That man put you out there and you can't get back. That man put you in a suffering state and you just got to lay there and suffer. You don't get no deliverance. Ain't no, give me something for it. Ain't no we can give you. Man, it done got so bad. I remember years ago, morphine was the strongest stuff they can give you. I've seen folks fight morphine that don't even help them. That man letting everybody know, and I told you, man, ain't no shalom. If you don't do right, ain't no shalom. That man done got away. Y'all know, they used to give you morphine. They used to give morphine to people finna die. If you go in the hospital, they give you morphine back. And now they give folk morphine in the hospital. They just give it to you. Morphine, we give you. If you had a severe gunshot, morphine, or you were dying. Morphine. Man, give you morphine for almost anything. You know why? Yahuah let them know it ain't working. It ain't working. I'm going to make you suffer. You're going to feel all that. Ain't no escaping. People been thinking, man, he got some stuff. Well, you can just go and you don't feel nothing. Who told you that? You're going to feel something. Yahuah going to make you suffer. You might be in an unconscious state. You're going to suffer. That's for all of us. That's why I wouldn't play with him. I'm done it. I admit, I played with him. I ain't going to tell no lie. I have played. Yahuah have come. All of you don't play your life, that man bring you back to understand, let you know. I seen that man made people suffer. I don't want that to be my end. I don't want to suffer like that. I said like shout, if I suffer being Abarim, being Yehudi, then I ain't supposed to be ashamed. He told me, well, don't you suffer as a Roshadua though, or as a busybody in other men's matter. He said, I don't want to suffer like that. It says a different, there's some suffering come with it. When I suffer, I want to be for the debar. I want to suffer for the will of Elohim. I don't want to suffer because I won't hear, I resist, I'm going to fight, I'm going to sneak, I'm going to hypocrite, I'm going to false pretend. That's a bad suffering. It don't avail nothing. Y'all hear me? Then when I started calling on him, he already told me, and why you calling on me and calling me a done? You want to do what I say. That means I'm over you. You don't need to say that. He made the thing and plain we can get it. Now it's all about what we want to do. At my close, what I'm going to tell y'all to do, I want everybody here to be honest with yourself. Today. If you ain't never been honest with yourself, today I want you to be honest with yourself. What you willing to do? You ain't got to tell nobody else today. I ain't talking about your yesterday and your last week and your month and your years ago. Today I want everybody to be honest with themselves. What you want to do? I'm going to tell you this now. If I got reservation about doing this with him, if I got it ain't sitting with me, I'm walking. I'm walking. I ain't wasting my time. Man, I'm 53, 50, I ain't got no time to waste. I ain't got no time to be beating around, playing around. I don't play, man, I played about the majority of my life, man. Man, I've been led the wrong way, man, to come at you. Man, I can't afford it. I'm just being flat with y'all. I wouldn't waste my time. Man, what you thought about me, I wouldn't give a flying flip. End of the day, how I feel about myself. I'm doing this for me to make sure I'm right and to secure my salvation. I don't want to come up in the mosh pot and be wrong. Everybody watching it too. I wouldn't watch. It's too long. We've been here too long. I wouldn't do it. It's too much. If it's something you could be doing better than, I'll be doing it. I'll be doing it. And you can be saved, and somebody show it to me, and it's right. I'm talking about it's flat out right. I ain't going to say just stay with this. I'll take it. Because it don't make sense to say I'm for right, but I'll stay with something wrong for the sake I love it. There ain't no better than what those 4 mine out there here. Show me something right. Show it to me and it's right. I'd be a fool now. You know how folks say, I don't care what nobody show me. I ain't going to move. You an idiot. You need to be careful. I say if you show me something right, don't go. See, some stuff we say, it's stupid. It don't even make sense to be here. I don't care what nobody tell me. I don't care what I see. I ain't going to move. You're an idiot. Why if I saw something right that I wouldn't do it? When Yahuah got rid of the immersed Yahushua, only he wasn't going to do it, I didn't think it was right. But the man said, we got to do it because it's right. And what he did? Let me think on it. Let me pray, because I ain't used to doing that. I said I wasn't never moving for what I did. If it's something I don't know, I don't need to know it then. I know everything right. That man took that man immersed. I didn't think it was right for me to have to do this for him. But when he realized the man said, let it be done, now it's right, that man moved. See, don't let nobody make no fool out of you. Listen, watch what you say. I ain't moving for nothing. Nothing gonna move me. Sir, you sound like an idiot. Right always supposed to move you. See how folks in our mind, you know what they thinking? You know what I mean. No, I heard what you said. So we start to clear up verbiage because certain stuff you say kind of trap you in because you say you weren't moving. I ain't going to move unless you show me what's right. It don't make sense to keep moving it on wrong. If you show me and it's right, I got to move in it if I'm really serious about my soul. Y'all have been folk them putting them things out their mouth and trap themselves? Because nobody taught us how to think. Nobody taught us how important things were we said. Nobody tried to make sure, do we really see this the right way? or we just following some other people's patterns. Can't afford it now. It got to be right. Make sense, y'all? It got to be right. Show me what's right. I'll move into it. I don't want to be locked in and then be trapped. Listen, I done changed so much stuff in my life. I want to make moves I make. I want to be the right move. I don't want to make no move out of something wrong to something wronger. Then there's something wrong. That's stupid. For move, let it be right. That's how you get it right. Moving out of wrong, not just moving into anything. Moving out of wrong and what's right. That's why when I try my best. That when I teach it, y'all, I try to make it as plain as the ability he give me is, so you really comprehend it. And you see it, not Tony Smith done showed you. Tony Smith done said, I want you to see it for yourself. You use your mind to sit down and you make a decision. Is this something you understand? Is this something that you see? Is this something you can do? I can't do it. I don't see it. But you know what? I'm just going to follow it because I trust him. Don't you go nowhere. You sit down and you get understanding. That man said, man, that man said, you words of the devil, not having understanding. But he made sure I gave you a raw that's going to feed you with knowledge and understanding. When I read that in the book of Romans, that those people words of the devil without understanding. That's why he came to make sure you get understanding. He said, written in the Navi, they're all going to be taught. Why? He did everything he could to keep you from dying. Yep. And me, it's no reason for us to die for it. Right. People, I'm scared. What if we ain't got to understand, I'm going to die? Where you going to get it from? Even when the unit would read, man, come back from Jerusalem. What did he say? Go jump and attach to that. He didn't want that man to die. I want that man to get understanding. That man said, how am I understanding this? Let some each guide me. And as soon as he was saying it, somebody here to tell him, let's start right here where you at. Let me explain this to you. Let me explain. He put every course of action to keep her from dying, from lack of understanding. Yes, sir. So the fear that people have, what I appreciate, the stuff that I learned about him earlier, people just didn't explain it or show it to us in a way to understand it. He's given us every out to keep from moot. Every out. We talked about last night. I'm getting ready to move with Vashti, Austin, how the Greek said it is. Austin. The fact that they had a writing set up and they put it in to make sure she couldn't get in. That's not our testimony. Can you imagine that? A writing put in to make sure you don't get in. And it can't be altered or changed. What happened in life that wasn't us? That we weren't born females, males. So people said couldn't have me. Who decided you were going to be a female or male? You did that? No, sir. What decided that you were born in this dispensation versus in the dispensation of her time and that wasn't you? Or another act, it don't have to be them being the root, or in another situation that a writing was written that you weren't going to get in. Like Asu. It was already said before they were born. That's right. Ahab Yaakov, I hate Asu. I know some of y'all are harbing. I hate him too. I hate everybody he hates. That's why he want me, because that's the interest we got. I told y'all how me and my best friend at the time used to be, man, we got a shirt. It won. I'm telling you, we went by it. And then they were, I remember we started, they said, well, she said, well, one of y'all just get it. Y'all can't, and they explained it to her how, what y'all like the shirt? Well, one of y'all get it. We look at it. We walk out of the store. We don't want it. We're through shopping. There's nothing in here for us. Because we both wanted one and you only had one, so we can't buy it. Think now we had that, now as a kid, doing as a teenager, not thinking, what if we had that same mind with Yahuah? It can only be that way. It's got to be able to fit both of us. It's got to be able to work for both of us, or we won't. It don't matter how I felt about it. We didn't look at it. We never did say, well, I mean, man, go ahead and you get it. Go ahead. We just both looked at it. We ain't going to get it. They ain't have two of them. We popped up first day of school. We're going to pop up. We got the same shirt. You know what I'm saying? We got the same shoe. They know. Y'all together. Y'all two friends. They going to know that off the rip. Because if we got something different, we might both wouldn't know what kind of friend we were. We were bad friends. And when folks see they already put together, say, if both of y'all got the same shirt, y'all got the same jeans, the same shoe, y'all like the same thing, y'all got the same interests. You see what I'm saying? That bond. You're right. You see how you understand? Don't you know the same thing happened for us when it comes down to Yahuah? People need to see that bond with us to know that y'all together. Y'all together. It's the same thing with y'all. The same interest, the same common attachment. That a heart we are attached. That it's got to work for both of us. Or we don't. Yahuah don't give us a whole lot of stuff because it won't work for both of us. Some stuff that we'll get, it'll work for us, but it don't work for him. Do y'all know that's how he do stuff? That's why certain stuff he don't let some of us have. Because it ain't going to work for both of us. You're going to get it, it's going to turn you away from me. You're going to start looking at what else you can get that different. That's not going to work. Even when I speak, he wants to say the same thing. He says, it's funny. I just seen a guy say the same thing you said, because we together. Y'all must be together. See, all that, he wanted all us to look alike. Our women all look like women, our men all look like men. You go to them folks stuff, all of the women, men, it's hard to tell. You had to sometimes you see some folks, you had to wait for you said, ma'am, a circle. You let it talk. I see a few, here's something you said, you had to let it talk before you move too fast. You said, I almost said, sir, I didn't know it was a woman. So you had to wait to see it, right? Because they done jumped, they done crossed some lines. Y'all got it? So all these things are important for us to make sure we identify with what we're saying. Y'all got it? That's two. Appreciate you here.